spend some time with the dead.
On demand almost. We'd be like, hey, can you like touch the duck or make it go off? And it would just start lighting up and going crazy.
Why should we be afraid of you?
Hello and welcome to What Goes Bump Tonight. I'm your host, Riley Clark, and alongside me, as always, is
Trevor Jensen.
And we are joined by our special guest, FTS Paranormal, Finding the Spectre, Brandon,
What up?
and David.
What's up, guys? What up?
Living our best lives.
Yes,
Always.
we are. And before we jump into the paranormal talk and all that, we got some notifications to clear out because we haven't talked to y'all in a week.
You sounded like you're about to spit some smooth jazz.
Maybe.
I loved it.
Tune in.
That's for the later episode.
But as many of you know, we do have a Kickstarter going where we're looking to raise money to send us on a really awesome tour and collab with a bunch of our former guests and
Bring some of that goodness to your earballs and your eye things.
yes,
You know,
so
all that.
if you are so inclined to pledge and help us in this mission, you will be rewarded in all kinds of different rewards, from sticker packs to scoreds to
All
voodoo
that.
dolls to
Early
shirts,
access.
early access, whole bunch of stuff.
Speaking of that, I think we're going to also tell everybody about our Kickstarter giveaway.
Right. So if you pledge to back us on this campaign, we are going to enter you into a giveaway to win a hoodie. So that's pretty exciting.
That's pretty exciting. Oh my God. I love that. But yeah, that's the Kickstarter. If you guys want to, please help out. We love it. Everybody that was already like entered too, that already gave. You guys
Yeah.
are rock stars too. All right. Enough of that hoopla. Guys, it's been a while since we've done this. So we're going to start with the basics. Where are you guys from?
I am from Charleston, Illinois.
I'm
Charleston.
from Bayless, Illinois, in a little area called Pike County.
Okay.
And I'm from Mattoon, Illinois.
Illinois. Bang.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
Illinois.
big
people.
brother up here. Oh man. So what's the paranormal scene like down there?
Crazy.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Liz and I currently live from about 10 minutes away from a little known location called Ashmore Estates.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Been featured on Ghost Adventures, Destination Fear. We've been there like 7 times in the last 2 years. It's crazy. We're about an hour away from Salem, Illinois, which Salem Hospital houses there. There's like the graveyards, things like that. There was actually a murder scene about 10 minutes from our house as well, right next to Ashmore Estates. Actually, at a bridge. It was called the Airtight Bridge. This woman was like dismembered, and she was thrown over the side of the bridge in the airtight bags. So, yeah, it's kind of.
You don't think that shit happened right down the street, but it do.
Oh,
Oh no!
Oh, alien zapped him.
Already we got a death.
RIP's in the chat.
Like yeah,
RIP,
RIP.
David.
Yep. RIP number 1.
Something happened.
Hopefully,
It's them
he gets
gremlins.
Thanksgiving dinner in heaven.
right.
All I gotta say. Oh, back from the dead.
Back from the dead.
Back from the
something
dead.
happened.
I moved too far away from the modem. I apologize.
Dog. I ain't having that. Holy God.
But yeah, no, there are a lot of places. St. Omer Cemetery is where a supposed witch is buried. About 35 minutes northeast, there's another witch that's buried, Chesterville witch, and she actually has like a cage around her headstone. Her
Jesus.
headstone
That's actually crazy.
is like part of a tree now, and like there's a cage surrounding the tree and the headstone. So
That's some
there are a
arcade
lot of
shit.
places. There are a
I
lot
love
of
that.
places. About an
So-
hour away from Pine Lawn. So,
How long have you guys been doing this then?
2 years. About 2 years. Yeah.
About as long as we have.
Yeah.
Just about.
2 years together, separate. It's variation of years.
Yeah.
So where did everybody get their starts? I'd like to know that one for sure.
You want to go first on that
Yeah.
one?
Oh God. My start was my childhood.
I feel like that's where it
So-
starts for everyone.
We were all
Yeah.
children once.
Yeah.
Oh, we're having interruptions. Hold on.
Sorry. You're good.
No, I like shadow puppets too. Like that was kind of lit.
Mine was my childhood. So my family, especially on my mom's side, were all like witches and practicing. So I started very young. So I started learning about all of this at like the age of 3, and I'm 21 now. So
Heck yeah.
Dave, go ahead.
So kind of, I was younger, doing just like a tour of like the USS Lexington down in Corpus Christi, Texas,
Oh fuck yeah.
and I was walking through one of like the corridors where everyone slept, and I saw someone pass through one of the doors that was blocked off from everybody. And I talked to the tour guide at the time, and he said, "Oh, you'll see that a lot." And ever since then, it's just been one thing after another, trying to track down what I saw.
Right. No, I feel like that's the proverbial unicorn where it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Right.
Hiding in the dark.
Oh yeah.
You see the stuff that's darker than the dark you're already looking at. You're like, that
Like
shouldn't
that's
be
a
there.
black hole, bro. Like what's
Yeah.
happening?
Yep.
And I guess for me, down in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, I'm sure you guys have heard of the Crescent Hotel.
Yep.
For
sure.
I went on one of their ghost tours, and I was like 9, 10 years old at the time.
Oh, wee
And I had
lad.
somehow convinced this tour guide to let me stay in the morgue by myself and do an EVP session. I was just like, you know what? I want to do it. And she was like, okay. So she took the entire tour guide or the entire tour back to the staircase, and I was the only one down in this morgue. And like, that old like metal that they used in like meat lockers, like that wavy metal.
Yeah, yep.
All of a sudden, all 4 walls around me started like rattling.
No.
It was weird. And I start knocking on the wall, and I'm like trying to debunk it, like maybe like the AC kicked on or something like that. And I was like, I said in the recording, I don't have the recording anymore, but
Yeah.
I said in the recording, I can't make the walls echo. And then there was a voice that said, help me.
Damn.
And since then, I mean, like, and the funny thing is before Dave and I like even got together on any of this stuff, I sent that recording to him and I said, what do you hear in this? And
Oh, I
he said
love
the
that.
exact same thing.
Yep.
Like, we didn't even like plan any of this like coming kind of full circle, but it kind of happened. And since then it's been nonstop, and especially living, because I lived in Charleston
In the
my whole life.
hotbed.
Yeah, living like 10 minutes away from Ashmore Estates, I literally watched Ghost Adventures film their episode. Like
That's
I
so
saw them
cool.
at the sheriff's office filming with one of the past sheriffs who they did an interview with, and I yelled out of the window. I was like, "I love Ghost Adventures!"
I
Like,
love that.
no, growing up in that area, it's been insane. So, but
Dude,
the Crescent is where I got my
That's
start.
awesome.
Yeah, that's a sweet story. Like to convince someone, be like,
Yeah, like how the fuck did you sweet
want-
talk your little ass into that, dude?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
I think it was the fact that you were short and looked like 5.
Probably.
You're like,
Because
let's
you know
just
what,
scar this kid for life.
We're gonna make this kid's dreams come true today.
It's either gonna end one way or the other, and I don't
Right?
know.
She was hoping
That's
to
so
watch him run screaming out of the
Yeah.
morgue. is what he
Yeah,
was
get to
waiting
see footage of it and be like,
Right.
"Ah."
I can't confirm it, but I sent that EVP back to the Crescent Hotel because they were like, if you catch anything on our tour, let us
Show
know.
us. Yeah.
And I sent it back to them, and I had the tour guides listen to it, and they said that they caught something too, and said that they were going to start using it on their tours.
That's
So
so cool.
I don't know if they use it. I haven't been back since, but I have searched far and wide for that email so I can download that EVP again.
Dude.
That was. I still remember when I first heard it. Like that was like, it was crazy. It was.
Yeah. That place is no joke. Like,
Yeah, and like to hear like a clear EVP for the first time that you hear one too is so intense.
Yeah,
Where
it
it's
is.
like I
right,
can't explain this
I
at
remember
all.
I remember when we
right.
caught our first one, and I literally we were sitting out in the living room. We all just had recorders in our hands, just listening, and then I was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck was that?" Like, what the
That
fuck?
scared the shit out of all of us. Me and Jenna were like, "What the fuck? Like, what
Oh
are you
my
yelling
God.
for?"
I love it.
Oh, it's nuts. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. So I always tell the story like about how I got my start, but when I got my
Yeah.
hair pulled, they found the video and the video camera that I was on, and he's gonna send me the hard files of it. So we get to put that live on the screen. I don't have it yet, but I watched it back and I was like, that is exactly why I started believing.
Yeah. It's
That's
like
crazy. I
it's
might
those
get
moments.
that video.
It's yeah.
And then I saw a
Insane.
bunch of me like using the camera and like videotaping stupid shit, and I was like, wow, I sounded like that. Oh, it's fun days. I love reliving those.
Right.
So, like, what was your guys' favorite location that you've done so far?
For
Ooh,
me, I'd
hard
probably
one.
say either Indiana State Sanatorium or the Monroe House.
Indiana State or Blackford County.
So, why those ones?
Indiana State, just because the level of activity. Like we went during, so we did a double investigation. We did Indiana State during the day, and then that night we went to Billy Creek Village because they're right down the road from each other.
Yeah.
And then the next morning we went back to ISS. But the level of activity, like we hadn't experienced anything like that at any of our prior investigations.
Hell yeah.
Like the intelligence with the REM pods and just everything. The K2s were going off. Just it was insane. And then Monroe House, just because I think we got there before it kind of got
It blew up.
the whole
The spot got
before
dropped.
it blew up. And before we got there when it was still kind of like it's had the Monroe Demon House name, but it was still known as the mysterious Monroe House.
Yeah, like it's not synonymous with the occult
Demon.
demons.
Right.
Yeah. But those are mine.
Dave, go ahead and say why.
Yeah.
Yeah, which about you, David? What you got?
I like Indiana State Sanatorium. I also like Blackford County. Yeah, up in Hartford City. I played 5-card draw with the ghost in the jail at Blackford County.
Oh,
and
fuck.
we had
Oh.
an EMF reader set up right across from me, and they had deck of cards and some change. So I was just passing around like everyone was placing bets, and it would spike when it was its turn, and it was one of the more surreal moments I've had doing this stuff.
That's crazy. Weeping Will Paranormal had the
Very
same
same thing.
experience at the Old Washoe Club. That's crazy.
Yeah.
To think that like ghosts are actually that intelligent to where they can play a game with
Right.
you.
That's
It
nuts.
was crazy. And then like with Indiana State Sanatorium, and we went to ISS Con. We were able to stay there till about 4 o'clock in the morning. The second night we were there, and I saw a shadow crawler come out of the nursing home, one of the rooms in the nursing home, and it crawled towards me, and it cut right in front of me. And I kind of shined my flashlight on the wall. They had some caution tape up, and the one on the door where it came through wasn't moving, but the one that was right in front of the door where it cut in was swaying like something had just passed in front of it.
Oh shit!
So,
Immediate
yeah,
creep.
yeah. There was like 3 or 4 of us around at that time, and we all saw it. And I was just kind of like, okay, well,
Like y'all, like fuck. What do we do?
Yeah.
Like that.
Kind of
We have that conversation quite a few times where it's like, all right, that genuinely scared me. What do we do? Like, what
Right.
do we do?
That's like when you walk, face to face with a 7-8 foot tall shadow figure. You're like, well, in that situation, do I swing on it or do I run? Like, what?
Yeah,
Because it either
fight,
doesn't
flight, or
belong or
freeze.
you're.
See, right now, my instinct is run at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Head on
I don't
try
want
to
to
get
run
that
away
brave.
because I might miss something. Like, that's when
Right.
something good's gonna happen.
I put on my big boy pants and I run too because I'm like, I gotta know, but I'm scared.
My luck
Skirt.
though, I'd run into like some homeless person with a little more aggression than what I
I
got.
actually
and
almost watched on our last investigation a dude that was really drunk that came back from the bar, and we were on
Oh
the
my
second
god,
floor.
yeah, this is hilarious.
And he walked into the corner, and like you could see, he started like playing with his pants, and all of a sudden you hear, and both of them like yelled at each other.
Yeah,
And he's,
yeah.
I'm so sorry, man. And like we're like up on the second floor, fucking dying.
laughing and
Like,
watching this
holy
shit.
shit! It's like 3 a.m, and it's like this is chaos, dude. Gotta love investigations just for the fact
Right.
that sometimes you see
You
some
never know what you're
anomalies.
gonna see. You really don't.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you might
What
see
about
a
you?
ghost. You might see a guy almost pee on a homeless man. It's fucking crazy.
Crazy. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
My
what
favorite,
about you?
my favorite location, it'd probably have to
Keep your
be.
zipper down and your ball wide open for what goes bump in the butt.
Oh my fucking god. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was making comments the
Tommy.
entire time. I'm trying not to laugh. No. My favorite location probably has to be Monroe, just because it was like the house that we like our first like location when we got like a bunch of random activity that we couldn't like explain at all, like Brandon's phone getting thrown for the first time.
Oh yeah, my phone got thrown.
Holy
Whoa,
shit.
that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Just the first time only.
Just the
Then
first.
It's
the
been
first time.
it got thrown again at Blackford, which is across the street.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, a block away,
Uh,
something like that.
yeah.
Some didn't like
there was-
it.
There was that, and then like I had just joined the group, so I joined originally with one of the old members. That was my ex. But he's no longer a member, but I joined with him, and they didn't believe me that I could see anything and stuff like that. Like Bruno was very still skeptic at the time, and it
Yeah.
was the first house that I said that I saw there was a person standing there. He went over there with an EMF, got it to go straight all the way to red, and he turned on the spirit box and it said hello, like just instantly.
Damn.
And after that, like he's not been as skeptic towards me. So that was like my first house for a lot of things, like started like working together and actually kind of had a role finally and wasn't
Right.
just standing there.
Yeah. No, I get it. And that's like wow level shit. Like
Mhm.
that's some like, all right, that's like real correlations there. Like that's fucking
Right.
crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't
So-
like when I talk about his grandpa though.
How many investigations would you guys say you've done? Like
Oh, I was
A
just looking at
lot?
the number.
Wasn't
Okay,
it like 15 or something like that in the last
15, yeah.
something
The
like that
past
in,
like
last
year and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and that includes like live streams and like cemeteries. Like, we'll just randomly go out to a cemetery. We won't film or anything. We'll just go out for our own
Yeah.
sake, just to get better at investigating, just to like kind of
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
having those investigation
sharpen the
withdrawals.
tools.
Right,
those
yeah.
investigation withdrawals. We're like, you know what? I don't care that it's -6 out. We're going out to a cemetery tonight.
Yeah.
Do you
Like-
find that when you don't like record and like just focus on the investigation, you guys get more activity?
Oh yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah.
I think
I feel like
they're
sometimes
part of
it's
them
like-
knows.
The ghosts know that they're being filmed and they might get like shy.
I'd get
Mhm.
camera shy for the first time. Fuck.
Oh yeah.
I'm ugly.
No, you're not. You're beautiful.
You're beautiful. I love you.
Stop it. I'll
Now
see
we're
you
just
later.
blushing. So like if you guys could go anywhere in the world and any location, like what would be like the best get you could go to?
Well,
That's-
since you know yours, go ahead.
I know mine just because it's like the place I wanted to go just because of the history that I know of, and like it kind of makes like it feels like a place like I feel like I'd be happy at, and that's the Winchester Mansion.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
over there.
That's
I feel like that'd be a lot.
We own like Winchester guns just as a family. Like we grew up with that. Like I know the history of it. I've seen it. My dad's told me the entire history of it. I mean, everything. So like I know that. And I feel like it'd be like a cool place just to go. One, because it's definitely gonna be extremely haunted, and there's like so much room, and you're also just gonna be confused in general just because of how it's like built
Yeah,
and
the
set up.
layout of the place
think
is
Yeah.
gnarly.
the fact that there's literally nothing else like it in the world is
Yeah,
like,
it's one of a kind.
Yeah.
yeah,
for
like,
sure.
you-
But
And
yeah,
you'll
no,
probably never explore all of it. That's what's crazy too.
Yeah.
Like it's so big
Well,
that you could.
if we're gonna say the prevailing, I'm gonna go on such a tangent here. Hold on, buckle up, friends. So, like, if the prevailing theory is that spirits hold on to energy when they pass, like, what if he was shouldering the guilt of making a repeating rifle that killed millions of people to this day? And it's like, I feel like that place would be fucking charged because it's like
Yeah.
that's a lot of guilt
Yeah.
to go to the grave
Y-
with. And I feel like you
yeah.
don't just lose that.
And don't they
That's-
have like a museum that kind of idolizes those repeating rifles too? That I
Mhm.
feel like would just give
Yes.
you like a constant reminder of those. Like,
Yeah, and it's like they're still producing them. So you're like it's not going away.
Yeah, Winchester
They
rifles are not going
revolutionized
anywhere, like,
guns.
ever.
yeah,
Well, that's why Sarah, like, that's why people said that Sarah would go and try to draw the rooms for the spirits because it was her way to apologize to them so they could get closer because that's where they died or that's where they felt most comfortable with the gun, like, because of the guns. So she would apologize, and if they would refuse, she would keep them trapped there because she didn't want them to attack others because of her problems and her company, her husband's company causing their deaths,
Mm.
which is part of it, which is also why there's so much energy there when you just go near it, even not even just go in, just go near it.
See, this is locations that I'm in my lifetime I'm going to
All
make
right,
it to.
it brings up the question: did you watch the Winchester House movie that came out a couple
And
years
what
ago?
did you think
I-
about it if you did?
I did watch it. I did watch it. It was a good movie. It was a good movie.
Okay.
Parts of the history were correct. Other
Mhm.
parts were
Dramatic as fuck.
yeah. Like the collapse of the building, it actually did happen. The building actually did get destroyed, but that was because of an earthquake, not because of angry spirits destroying the house.
And if a bullet could really kill a ghost, like,
Fuck yeah.
that's even more. That's even more fun. You're killing something that's already dead. Like, what?
Yeah, that's where most of the backlash came from, but it wasn't terrible. I didn't hate it. I was like, this is a good movie.
It was what, a blessed silver bullet or something like
Something
that.
like
yeah.
It was the connection to death because it was the bullet that was meant to kill him.
that. Yeah,
Like
that's
he
right.
refurnished the bullet, the exact bullet, using all the casings and everything. The only thing that was different was the gunpowder, and he had it engraved because his wife had committed suicide because she thought she killed her husband, which was the doctor, and he refurnished it because he wanted to die.
You remember this movie?
I
do
need to
not.
fucking reread the lore.
I
Oh
have
boy.
I
I've
guess it
memorized
really is her
weird
favorite
facts.
location. She knows tons about it.
Fuck yeah.
No lie.
Yes,
That's
I know
awesome.
a decent amount.
Dave, what about you, buddy?
Oh, I don't even know, man. There's so many places that they'll always leave you wanting more. I think no matter where you go, you're always going to find something that you're topping out above your next.
Yeah,
like,
you never leave
location.
with
Like,
answers.
there's
It's always
always
questions.
like with Indiana State Sanatorium. Like we did that first day tour, and then we went to Billy Creek, and we were sitting at Billy Creek, and we were like, man, we really should go back to ISS. Like, there's no like it's right there. Like, there's more that we were hunting for, and then we went back, and I think like we got some decent REM pod activity, and then a couple of like EMF spikes, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I think if I could go anywhere, it'd probably be Waverly Hills, just because the sheer history around the building, and I want to walk through the death tunnel completely in the pitch black by myself. Like, that's just been on my bucket list of things to do for a long time. So
You ain't walking in the death tunnel, you're running. That thing is steep.
I'll bring a little skateboard. We'll be all right.
A longboard at work, I get that.
I think for me, probably there are a crap ton of locations
Oh yeah.
that I want to go to, but I want to go back to the Crescent, and I want to get answers about who needs help, like why did I get that EVP that first time that I went there?
Yeah.
Like, I want those answers. Like, I want to know who's there. I want to know why they need help. I want to know what happened. I mean, like, obviously the history of the Crescent Hotel is very, very dark and disturbing.
Mhm.
But like, I don't know, like, I want to know more. It's always been that location. It's always been the Crescent because it was my first ever ghost tour, and with that came my first ever evidence. So
Yeah.
I don't
and
know.
then
I
it
just want
led to
more.
the heroin overdose of, oh, this guy
Literally,
was tough."
literally.
Oh my god.
So
I love that.
that brings us to our next question. What would be your favorite device to use on an investigation? Is it REM pod, Melmeter, cat balls, EVPs?
Oh, go ahead, Brandon. I know you know this answer.
I'm a sucker for REM pod.
Right.
I love it. But recently, because of Mr. Mustache in the chat there, I've gotten obsessed with EVPs. Like
I would agree with
almost,
that.
especially like, so the video that we posted yesterday at the National House in Michigan, the EVP that we got there with the "He Trapped Me."
Oh yeah,
What, like,
And
there's
the-
no denying what that said. Like,
and
it's
the piano
insane.
playing on its own too.
The
Like that's
piano, yeah,
that's a EVP in its own right, I think.
right.
Like,
But
I don't
Crazy
know.
shit.
yeah, I don't know. I've gotten obsessed with EVPs recently. Like, I
think
do EVPs in my
that's
house.
Kind of
Just
how I've
sitting there.
been feeling. Like
Mm,
we had that investigation with Tommy. I don't know. I think it's just he has this effect with ghosts.
Right.
They just want to talk on like these freaking devices with him.
it's
It's the stash for
Yeah,
It's
they're
the
sure.
looking for those
stash. It has
mustache
to be.
rides.
The same thing happened to us at Ashmore Estates when he came down. We were all like the FTS crew. We were all sick as a dog the entire day. We had planned a 24-hour investigation of Ashmore Estates. We got maybe 8 hours in total.
Ooh. And it all went to
Because
hell.
it literally it was a cluster.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. But
We've experienced
with
it. We
Tommy,
understand.
it was just he was cranking out EVPs left and right. Like we
Mhm.
got one with his name. We got one like in every single floor of the building. I think the way they might have gotten one down in the boiler room. Like I don't remember. I don't
I think when we
remember
went with
everything,
Tommy,
but
It was the poorhouse that did it for me.
Yeah, the
after
poorhouse.
he
Yeah.
started like playing all of them back, and he was like, "Just listen to this. Like this is fucking nuts." I was
Mhm.
like, "I need to learn how to use a recorder because this is fucking
Right.
stupid." I don't know why I wasn't.
it's crazy. And yeah, we've been catching a lot more now that we're doing more sessions. Like we're
Yeah.
catching more. Like the tattoo shop.
Caught
we
like
actually
3 really good
left a
ones.
recorder in a room by itself when we left, and we actually like caught a voice that was none of us.
It's fucking weird.
Hell yeah.
I
So,
love it.
It's
Like,
good
granted, you
stuff.
really got to boost some of the audio in some of them,
Mhm.
and it's very faint. But it's like, imagine if you set a recorder on the floor and you're standing at 6 foot and you're talking above it. It's
Mhm.
probably not going to sound great.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
What
know.
about
It's
what
just
about you,
not-
So
David?
that's- yeah, Dave. EVPs for you too, or
I like the SP7. I like the Spirit Box. Yeah,
It's so
Okay.
much fun to
Start-
use.
Spirit box
that
is
stuff.
fun too. I love the
starting to
Spirit box.
do Estes a whole lot, so it's been you know,
Yeah, we made
it's
that
kind
a
of my favorite
staple.
thing to do. It's one of my favorite things to do, and we did necrosis, and like I kept hearing like deep voices and stuff coming through. Like it's just when you're sitting with your eyes blocked off and everything, you could feel all the energies and like everyone coming up on
Yeah,
you. So
it's
kind
like
of
you
like
get trance and then you go to a different
Mhm.
place.
I feel closer connected
Yeah.
when I'm doing Estes than
Mhm.
like anything else really.
I'll find myself visualizing things that I don't have any business visualizing, and it's like, this is really weird. Like, I'm gonna pay attention to
Have-
this.
That brings
Right.
me to ask: have you tried the AI like red light? What is it called? What's that method called that people have been doing? Gosh,
With those
Black
like
Smoke
red
brought it up.
goggles.
Yeah. What is chat?
Oh,
Who
God
knows what
damn
the name
it.
of that is? Black Smoke literally talked about it with us for us, and I don't remember the name of
This is
it.
because we call it something different. That's why.
Yeah, it's like Delco method or
Delco.
something.
It is the
Yeah,
Delco.
Delco method.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good fucking job.
Yeah, Delco method. I want to try it, but the goggles are kind of expensive.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. We could just probably go buy like the dollar store ones and put some lights in it. It's probably the same thing, though.
Right.
Realistically.
They started somewhere though, so you got to think. So your
Exactly.
idea there is probably exactly how they started making them.
Yeah, the best part about this too is like every time we talk to somebody, we can take a little bit more information away. Where it's like, all right, let's try to use this on our next investigation, or like, what do they do differently that we don't do?
I really think that like there is something to like the sensory deprivation and using senses that you don't know are exactly there.
It's like
to
working out
try
a
to,
muscle
like-
you've never worked out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I think there's something more to it than what meets the eye. Like at first it's
Oh,
just like
absolutely.
it seems like, oh, you're just staring into a red light and disorienting your own eyes. But like no, because it doesn't actually like do too much effect to your eyes other than
Well,
make
our
your pupils
eyes are
get
literally like
insanely
photo
small.
boxes anyway. Our brain is doing all the processing. We see everything in clear because our brains do it.
Right.
It's
So
not our eyes
if
doing
you
it.
see something in it, like what is that you're seeing? Is that like a
Right.
because like the image can't be coming from well, it could be coming from your brain, but like you could subconsciously be seeing this and projecting it, which could be paranormal potentially,
Could be.
or just completely crazy.
Choo choo.
What about you?
All
What's your
aboard.
favorite equipment?
Oh, I have to pick one now.
Yeah.
Honestly,
No,
probably
but
have to be the spirit
I'm
box.
obsessed with like paranormal theory. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there's just so many possibilities and so many
Mhm.
logical but somewhat scientific ways of trying to figure out what life after death is like.
Right.
And
Even the non-scientific ways that are like things that catch your eyes and stay in your memory for that make you want to keep trying to figure out what it is that you're
Yeah.
looking for.
exactly, for sure. Like I know I've seen stuff, but like my brain doesn't want to accept that I've seen it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's almost like you're so
Yeah.
you have to remain so skeptical, but at the same time you're like, I know what I seen, but I just don't know if I believe what I saw. Like,
Yeah.
dark. Like where my
And
eyes
when you don't capture that what you see on camera, it's so difficult to explain it later on.
Mhm.
Like
it is.
Even after trying to like debunk it, like it's just you can't figure out, and then you never have that proof again to look back on and be like, okay, well, this is what I saw. I can see it, confirm it.
Yeah.
Like there it is. It's well, was it actually something I saw? Was that my mind playing tricks on me? Was it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I have the theory where it's like if you're seeing things in your dreams that are very, very close to what you experienced, and it's a little bit different on like a darker level, or like you see something that wasn't there that shouldn't be there, I'd pay
Mhm.
attention to those ones for sure, because it might
Yeah.
actually be that you saw that and that your brain just went, nope.
Yeah, I guess like our prime example, we talk about it a lot, is our haunted Indian burials grounds. Like there's a specific scene in there that me and him both had a dream about with like this skinwalker type creature. That's how I'm gonna
Yeah,
explain
it
it.
was hard to explain what it even looks like because it's like amorphous, weird, fucking dog-like human thing. Weird,
Yeah, it's like skin was like falling off the bone, but like still connected and
gangly as
like
fuck.
yeah, it's I don't
What the
it's
hell?
so weird.
Didn't have any reason to both dream it, and then we brought it to each
Right?
other at completely different times.
Weeks apart. We had it out the dream on the same night, but we didn't talk about it for like a week.
Didn't think it was relevant.
And then I just brought it up on a
Wow.
phone call one day, and he's like, "What? I had that same fucking dream. When was this?" I was like, "Oh, the night that I fucking passed out on
Yep.
my way to home and had to stop at my girlfriend's house.
Yep.
It's the weird night that I had."
Fucking insane. Like I don't know. I pay attention to those ones for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lizzie. We didn't mean to cut you off. We're
Oh,
just
yeah.
living
No,
our best
yeah.
lives.
You're all good, honestly. No, honestly, if I had to pick a piece of equipment, it'd probably either have to be spirit box or like we have a I can't speak. We have a camera that takes Polaroids.
Yeah.
We're just gonna say it that
Oh.
way. It was mine, but we've used that before and we've captured weird things just like on the pictures that we can't find a way to explain it at all, or like why it was a lighted area that went like completely dark on the photo.
Right.
And
So
like
those are like the ones that I like. I like that especially because like we have that evidence of like, okay, this room is completely bright. Like, why is this picture just black? Like,
Yeah.
it shouldn't have been.
especially because we've started taking all of our Polaroids in groups of 3. So
Yeah.
we'll take 3 pictures of the same area at the same angle. Like we
Mhm.
won't even move. We'll just snap them right in a row.
Yeah.
And if one of them turns out different than the other 2, like what is that?
That's an anomaly.
I
Mhm.
would think so.
It's that, or like the spirit box, just because like I do enjoy going under for S's, but also like being able to like to hear the voice and like the emotions, like everybody hear that, it
Yeah, it carries
makes a
different.
difference.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Have you guys been to Pine Lawn Manor yet?
Not yet. We looked into it though.
So I went there for a live stream with Brandon. And we were in the dining room or the
Mhm.
old like bingo hall or whatever it was, but we were doing Estes, and it it literally sounded like a elderly woman. It said the word help, but it literally sounded like an elderly woman had just like fallen and broken her hip,
Oh
and that
my
she was
god.
just bawling and screaming and couldn't get up.
And
And
this
like
doesn't
that's
come through radio. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah,
not what the radio plays.
Exactly.
it's like the stuff that
It's
it's
like
the stuff that doesn't come through radio. Like I mean, like when you
You'll
get
hear
called
like Michael Jackson sounds every now and again. And you're like, that's nothing.
like, oh yeah, that's not how it goes. That's
or like when you get called a bitch. Like there's no reason for somebody to
There's
say
yeah,
the
no,
word
they can't
bitch.
even be on the
swear.
radio. You know what I
They
mean? Like
can't swear.
you can't be picking
And
up
for
XM.
I always say that you have to pay for XM. That is an encrypted single. It does not go to your S box. It
Right.
just doesn't.
And do you run your spirit box on AM? Because that's what we do. Because there's
We
typically
run it
there's
on
a lot
AM
less
and reverse.
less chatter.
Yeah, reverse though. Do you
Yeah.
find that you catch more in reverse?
Depends.
Because we usually just go forward with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was actually my first investigation at Ashmore. So we did a public investigation at Ashmore our first time around, just to kind of get used to ghost hunting. All we had was
Yeah.
a spirit box and 2
That's
EMF
pretty much
meters.
where we started.
Yeah. But there were there was a couple there that brought in like 7 cases. They had cameras, they had everything, literally. And they were like, yeah, we do this, this, and this. And since then, that's kind of just how I started doing it.
The ball
So,
just rolled to more and
yeah,
more, and now
because
it's
I
like,
mean,
oh,
like
my addiction.
that night was I had a dance party on the 3rd floor at Ashmore Estates with
So
a
cool.
ghost. Like, that's one of my
See,
favorite.
that's
you be
lit.
dancing with them. I'd be asking for the hugs. Like we got
Right?
some good things working. Like you gotta
Can you
humanize
give me a
them
high five? Like,
straight up.
I don't ask to be touched. I just end up getting touched with all
See,
of my
I don't
lovely
feel it though.
just
Like I'll be like, come like touch head, like come hither, touch hand. I don't feel anything, and it's maybe like my nerves are shot. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like
I'm almost positive our
I'm
last
pretty sure his shirt
investigation.
got fucking pulled,
I was at the
and you
tattoo
can see
shop.
it.
Like I could feel something surrounding me and touching me, and then
It's
you could-
almost like
my
his shirt was
like,
starched.
getting like pulled like this, like very slightly.
Yeah, and
it
like
was
you can
just
see
like-
his body movements a little bit, and it does like waver a little bit, but it's starch. Like it doesn't unfurl.
super
It's
weird.
weird.
And I was like super cold when this was happening, and I had like all the hair was standing up on my entire body, and then all of a sudden it just stops, gone.
And there's also a brothel where they found like a hidden attic space where there was a room with a bed and a bunch of old bottles and stuff they stuffed back into the wall.
This
And there
tattoo
was
shop
probably a
video
child's room.
that we have coming, some crazy shit happened.
Yeah, so it would make sense.
Sheesh.
yeah.
Yeah,
We
the
didn't even talk
EVPs
about it.
are what really drove me to go like, what is
Right.
happening? Because it made sense to why they would say what they did to us in the regard of what we were asking. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like I don't sound like that.
Yeah, that's this building has some cool history too, like
Mhm.
been
Sacred
aban-
geometry in the walls.
sacred geometry in the walls, and like crystals in the walls, and artifacts from the OG building, because it was like
It was a
it was a
horseshoe
bar,
club.
a
Yep.
hotel, a jazz club, a prohibition area, like gambling ring with
Mhm. And
prostitution.
it was
Wow.
it was
It was
fucking lit.
a bunch of shit, and then it went abandoned for 30 years until like 2016, where all these businesses moved in, and now it's like all renovated and shit, and like
It's fucking cool.
it's crazy. Like the stories they tell us, the daily happenings there, like these spirits are so active, it's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking back to the reverse sweeping on the S box stuff. Now that we hit our tangent mark. So do you find that like you can discern what's the like bullshit stuff where it's like that is probably like radio interference because it's not coming through as words because it's backwards?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. There are times where there definitely has been like we always sweep in reverse. Like we always.
Sorry, cat just fell in the fucking dryer.
Oh, I was like, demons? Demons?
No, he just made a loud
Um,
clang and we both jumped. He
Um,
is 100% in there. That's awesome.
but like there'll be times where like you'll get the like the radio station will come through just
Yeah.
because it's kind of catching up. So you'll get like the
Yeah.
you'll get the 104.3 and but like
Yep.
and I'm like, dang, the ghosts are listening to the radio again. But
Demons.
Fucking diamonds.
but there have been times where we've kind of tried doing sweeping it forward,
it
but
up
I
the
haven't
other
really
way.
noticed a difference all too much.
Yeah, I feel like we got ears, like good enough ears to pick out what
which
the
one
bullshit
do you
is.
use? Do you
Yeah.
use the S box or you got the SB7 or the
Or do you use both?
SB11?
We use both.
Both.
Yeah, we have both as well, and we like to. Oh, we don't really use the SB7 as much because it picks up so much interference.
I think ours is
Yeah.
freaking a fake.
I mean, we realistically need to like open it up and take the antenna off of it so it doesn't even pick up radio signals and then see
Yeah.
if it works like that. But
Yep,
like,
that's what
I
we've
don't
been
know. That's a
told.
lot of fucking work.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm gonna break this expensive thing and I'm gonna feel really bad. And I don't want that on my conscience.
You'll be haunting the SB7 factory.
Oh fuck, I'll be calling the manufacturer real quick. Be like, bruh, your shit's broken.
Help me.
I didn't do that. It was like that. I know we got it like 2 years ago, but like, bruh.
See, I like the S box because you can record it. But
Yeah,
then
that's my favorite.
what
part
I
about it.
learned is that there's no way to like really mark stuff. So
No. The file is just weird.
once you go, you got to remember when you press the save, and then you got to go look at the files and try to like it doesn't do a really.
It puts it into like 12 different fucking
Oh,
folders, and it's like nothing is ever
like,
where it needs to be.
We tried this at Ash Walton. It actually ended up working out for us
really well, actually.
really well.
Hasn't ever since.
But like play the playback of the SDs live
Mhm.
to the
So
viewers,
it's not bullshit.
so
I
you
fucking
can
heard
hear
that.
Right.
if the person is really hearing what they say.
And
or
it's all
whatever.
perception too, because if you hear something that might sound different to your ears, it's like, well, mine are probably clogged, so I don't know what that was.
It's a cool feature on that device.
Yeah.
I wish every
Yeah.
one of them implemented that, because with the SB7, you have to have like 3 different devices to put it into a recorder to record it, and it's like,
Yeah.
I know the new ones are probably like just plug and play or put a SD card in and play, but like for tried and true cheaper route, if you need that, S box works great. Like
Now, what-
I'm sure you guys have caught like the long EVPs over multiple sweeps too, where it's like,
Yeah.
dog,
Yeah.
ain't working like that.
Dog.
I know, I'm fucking on one tonight.
I love it. I love it.
You know,
Oh, jeez.
do you guys believe in aliens?
Oh my fucking god, we're going this way with it. I love it.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
100%. Have you guys ever seen a UFO?
No.
Oh, you're thinking. I see it, David. I
I think you
You've
think
seen
you
one.
saw one.
You think
I
you did.
I
man. Did you
think I
see?
did. So, I live out in the middle of the country area,
Mhm.
and I was taking my dog out one night, and I looked up, and there was like this weird pattern in the sky.
Yeah.
And the more that I watched it, the more I noticed it kind of like rotating.
Mhm.
And then like my dog started running towards the street. I called him back, and when I looked up, it was gone. Same spot where I was at, it was just a blank spot in the sky. I don't know what it was.
That's
But
weird.
I feel like there's too much infinite in space to
Yeah.
be
What's
the
at the edge
only
of the
sort of
universe?
right.
Like, what the fuck is that?
It's either we're alone or we're not, and
Dude, it's gonna be
both
like
options are
Truman
fucking
Show.
terrifying.
If
Right.
any species that's far from us, because we are not going to do that in our lifetime. But if any of our generations, many years down the line before Earth blows up
When
itself,
the Anunnaki show back.
yeah,
up.
if we make it to the edge of the Earth, we're just gonna fucking knock on it, and it's gonna be like a digital hologram thing, and we'll be like, "Fucking simulation." I fucking knew it.
Such a letdown.
It's so fucking let down. Like aliens are real because they just simulated in here. Who knows?
Mhm.
I was
I mean,
watching
I
one of those.
realistically think that octopi are aliens living amongst us because they're fucking wild. I watched a video earlier today of them like camouflaging themselves in like that, and it's like, what is that, man? Like, what is
I want to
that?
be able to do that.
Well, you gotta think
Octopuses
too,
are
like
crazy.
the
They're,
giant
like, the most
squids and stuff.
intelligent species.
Yeah, or like
Their entire body's a brain.
I was
dude.
just reading too. Australia, they're finding new species of spider every day. Like shit, man. Like what
They need to
about the
stop.
pockets of the earth we've never found? Like Riley was telling me last week that they saw a fucking boa constrictor the size of like a fucking boa python that from like the prehistoric era that was massive.
Yeah, the
in
Congo,
the Congo.
in the Congo snake.
Congo is like 75%.
It's
unexplored.
confirmed like real too. Like it was a real snake, and then that if
The fuck
that's
is that?
so, it'd be the largest.
Why
like,
is that not fucking
constrictor
front
type
page news?
Right?
since Titanoboa. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Well, that's like, you know, what unexplored in Antarctica? Like, what is that hiding? What's underneath the ice?
Dude,
What's
Antarctica
It's either,
Like, what's in the ocean?
it's either a
Like-
super weapon in Antarctica that the government is hiding, and they're like, "Yo, we can fuck some shit up." Like how they said that the South American earthquakes were because of the
Yeah,
supercluster they have up there. Oh, I mean, that would be fucking wild. Or there's literally like Titan-sized fucking craziness underneath those sheets of ice. That's like, yeah, if that shit
Real.
gets out, we're all dead.
But you got to think too, you know, there's people that have been around that have been smarter than, I mean, just the average human for how long now?
Mhm.
So you know that somebody in history has tried to do something crazy like that. I was reading something the other day about World War II back in like the 1930s that
Mhm.
Wait,
Germany
hold on.
and
Hey. Did anybody else's audio like just test
No.
out of
I
nowhere?
just tested
Our
it.
audio just tested. It played that test song that it plays on
Like,
StreamYard.
Testing your audio once
Yeah.
Yes, it just played
Yeah, I
that
know that one.
out of nowhere. Like I haven't touched my computer in like this entire time.
It's either CIA, FBI, or aliens.
They're listening.
all of it. They're like,
All
oh,
of it.
now it's getting
Stop
interesting.
Stop talking about us.
I mean, realistically, though, like I don't mean to cut you off, David, but just like think about it. Why would that David Grush guy get hired by our own government to look into the money trails of where their money was going? And when he found the black sites that they were hiding the money in, it happened to be the toppest of clearance, undocumented shit that they were hiding from the government. And he brought that to the attention of a court, and they said, this needs to be addressed now. This is bad. Like we
Right.
need to do something. And then we have all of this disclosure happening at the same time.
The-
They're like, we got to soften
One of the
blow.
craziest things I think from that too is like that probably 90% of the alien craft we're seeing is actually
us.
manned
It's
by
man-made.
human.
It has to be.
Like that's crazy.
We might see the slimmest of people coming forward and saying that they're seeing these like these very like paradoxical, like crazy events where it's like I cannot even fathom what I just saw, and I sound completely nuts telling you it, are probably more realistic than us just seeing something zipping around the sky. That's probably government made for sure, and it's just black sites telling you don't fucking say anything. It's fucking nuts. This mic drop. Boom! I fucking love aliens.
Right.
I think aliens are like
There's
is-
no
they-
question
I feel like
that
they
they've
have
been
to,
here. The
they
Anunnaki,
have to have been.
like that has so much weight to me. Or like how the Younger Dryas theory, where there was like a air burst above the Earth that like basically was the cataclysm that changed all life on Earth because of it. Well, why in all of the civilizations, words are fucking hard, coming up, did they also have all these depictions of these higher beings that helped them along, that guided them along the path to like better civilizations, to like they like I get people advance and that the people are smart and that it is a common thing to have geniuses among us, but we do not advance as quickly as we have in the modern era or in that day and age without some type of outside help. I don't believe it. Especially if you look at the pyramids. How the fuck did they build them?
Yeah,
They
how
did
do you
not.
move a 20-ton stone like
They did not.
10
And
feet off the
if
ground?
it's as old as they say it is, they're wrong because they just came out with another theory that it's probably a lot older than what they say it is.
It goes deeper than what we think.
And
it
that
does,
it's probably a
too.
lot more is buried than we actually know, because there was like 3 Sphinx they found that were just buried out there.
Oh gosh, there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
It's alien, dude.
Like cave systems that we don't know about too, from ancient cultures, from like even in China and stuff.
I just love
It's
seeing the
pretty wild, like-
hieroglyphs. Like I love all of
Right.
it.
Oh yeah, I saw a picture of, I think, is it King Tun's Tut or
Yeah.
King Tut's tomb, something like that.
Tut.
And yeah, it was like one of those, you can kind of look around the room and it kind of shows you like a
Oh, the
360 view
3D
of it.
imagery, yeah.
And I'm like, that's insane to me. And then kind of like what you were saying, how do you move a 20-ton stone 10 feet off the ground that
Mhm.
is in the perfect cylindrical form that
Mhm.
wouldn't make any sense for the tools that they had to them back then.
I think too the obsession with gold, like actual
Dude,
real gold. Like
There's also
what is that about?
what
Like,
river is it? There's a major river over in some Arabian country that is drying up currently, and they're finding like gold, and they're finding like tons of hidden chambers down there that have like hieroglyphs from way older than what we've ever seen for real. And it's like
Jeez.
the like Bible basically predicted it too, or like some shit.
Uh-huh.
Like I read about it like literally for 5 minutes while I was at work, and I was like, whoa, this is really happening. And I looked up other things where it's like, that is really happening. It's really drying up. I don't know if this is really, but like, that's fucking cool.
Right.
It's like, I don't know, man. Like, there's so much history that we just don't know, that is
Yeah.
just undocumented, that is not there for us, that is not readily available for us, and that's probably being hidden from us.
yep.
Yeah.
I always say we would know so much more if the Library of Alexandria wasn't burnt. Like,
They probably have the
Yeah.
answers for us, what the afterlife is, like what spirits are, how they communicate with us, how they can physically affect things and manipulate things around us, like poltergeist
Mhm.
activity. How the fuck does that happen?
Right.
Open up the Vatican vault for a little bit and let's just see what comes out of there.
It's guarded
Like
by
your
a
idea.
full fucking army. Like, I will get spicy one day in my old age, and I'll be like, bro, you letting me in or I'm going in?
Yeah, do you remember
Right,
when they
yeah.
raided Area 51?
We're
Let's
going.
just
Yeah,
raid them.
yeah.
We're going. I want to know.
And-
Like, I want to know, are demons real, and are there like a certain number of them? And everybody's like calling hoopla because there's one real account of one happening. And it's like, oh, maybe I've been misconstruing it all and saying that demons are all hoopla. I don't fucking know. I don't have these damn answers. And the Vatican could be hiding them. And that's bullshit. They're hiding them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like every strange thing that happens on that side of the world, and that the Vatican is the one that takes it. They're like, well, let's put it under lock and key here.
I mean,
So-
what other place can you go in the world where the church runs the country?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild to me, especially like where it's like I come from a religious background, but like I'm not overly religious myself anymore. Like, I've seen way too much stuff that contradicts what I've also learned too, where it's like, okay, we're gonna pump the brakes. We're gonna go with what we think
Yeah.
right now. Like, we're
Yeah.
gonna use perception. But like, there's just too many sides to like all the different religions, where it's all like got a little bit of hand in the waters of like every one of them, where it's like, what is the real truth here? Like, where did we go wrong and where are we getting misled? That's where I feel like that's why I'm like skeptical on having religion be in paranormal too, because it's like that's already muddy water. We don't even know what this is. Like,
Right.
we cannot branch these two right now, or we cannot do that.
Yeah.
We
There's
cannot.
I feel like the same could also be said about like Satanism as well, though. Like going and saying, like, okay, well, this is
Such everybody like not victimizes it. They like use it as like it's bad. Well, if you like look at it as a whole, it teaches you to be a good person and just don't give a fuck like about what
Yeah.
other people think for real. Like, it's not a bad thing just because it's Hail Satan.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
not
as
really
long as
Hail
people
Satan.
aren't sacrificing humans and doing all
That's a
this
cult shit,
wild,
though.
crazy
right,
shit,
right.
like it's, you know,
Like, I'm all down for like a conjuring spell
Totally
and like
different.
trying things, but like I ain't gonna just like prick blood and like drip it into a
Yeah.
satanic circle with candles all
Start
around me.
drawing
Yeah, I
pentagram
would
in your
do-
blood.
And then
like,
like slice the head
me
off a goat.
personally, like I would do a ritual. I would, because I don't believe in that stuff. Like, I don't believe that you can do. A
I
ritual
like
to
to
summon
try
something.
things,
So
and
I would be down.
then
to
I'll give you my
make
opinion.
that happen. But I also think Kindred also might actually know how to
Kindred 100%
to summon spirits.
knows
because
what he's talking about.
shit got weird when we did a live stream
I
investigation.
really love
with him.
picking his brain about a lot of the stuff that I don't understand, because I just don't understand it well enough, and there's so much to it that I cannot dedicate enough time realistically to understand it fully.
Got nothing but
Right.
time.
What do you guys think time is? Like, do you think time is
Non-existent.
relative to like spirits, or do you think after spirits move on,
That's
it's like
interesting.
molasses? We're here. We can do whatever we want, and if we want to like reincarnate, we can do that whenever we want. Because you get the spirits that come and go, and it's like, what
Yeah.
happens when they go?
Mhm.
You know, like what's that?
Yeah. What happens? Where do they go? What are they doing?
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
That's
those,
weird.
like if you lived a good life and you know you were honest in everything you did, you would be able to go like visit amongst your like loved ones and family members and stuff like that. But if you're someone that lived a negative life, a poor life that was just rude and hateful towards everybody, then that's when you're more stuck to where you're at, and it gives that more of like a residual haunting type.
Yeah,
feeling.
almost like you're
That is-
shackled by the demons that you created.
Yeah.
Like that. I
You-
feel like
like
that
that, it's-
makes a lot of sense.
Kind of plays into its your own self karma thing at the very end of the day.
Right?
That
No, I
got
love that,
deep
though.
real quick.
We're going deep tonight. That's
We
all
always
I've
do.
been.
We always dive
Promise?
head first.
Cause like I've always thought, you know, like it's always weird that we always encounter a lot of like negative spirits, and like a lot of places that we do go are pretty synonymous with having heavy shit happen. But
Mhm.
realistically, like you'll go some places and you'll get like child spirits, you'll get happy stuff, and you'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, this is really interesting. Like place was actually supposed to be, you know, like a good place, a haven. So it's like it makes sense.
One example of that I have is when Dave and I went to the Shadow Man Museum with
Yeah.
Jake from Spirit Stalkers. Obviously, they know the museum, I think, better than anyone. They've been there more than anyone.
Countless times, yep.
But I didn't quite believe the demon theory, and in fact, when I was doing my solo in the museum, like the big museum part upstairs, I was playing trains with a little, like I confirmed it on the spirit box. It was a little girl, and I said, "Do you want out of here?" And it said yes. And like for the next few days, it just kind of felt like the little girl had come with us, like she had came, like they can attest to this. It felt like somebody was in
Yep.
the car with us,
Mhm.
like it
They
felt
were
like
like
she just came with
beacons.
us. And
Like I always like to think of it like if we're walking through a dark place, like we see it the same as they see it. They're in the exact same place as us, but not in the same existence.
Kind of like
Well,
the nether.
Yeah, like when you like permeate back through, like if you see us, like I'm sure we're just balls of light, like energy, like you know, like we're
Mhm.
people looking, but like to me, it's almost like you're the beacon where it's like, all right, like I heard nice things, I'm gonna trust it.
I
I'm gonna
almost feel
follow
like
along.
sometimes they think we're the angel.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense to me because
Yeah.
there's been many times that like child spirits have come to us and we are very inviting. Like I will always say like you can touch me, you can use my energy, you know, like I've never been touched personally, so I'm just waiting for it to happen. But it's like I'm never like we don't like to provoke. I did one time and I felt like I was being affected. But like it's not in our vocabulary anymore to like poke or prod.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it's a demon behind me!
Oh my god, is that a Wendigo?
No, he doesn't have
Is
fast
that,
enough
is
for
that a
that.
shapeshifter?
You said Winnebago?
Winnebago.
Winnebago?
We're going across the country in a Winnebago, boys.
It's, I don't know. It's all like
Winnebago.
Winnebago.
That's what I heard about it in
What
Vega
a-
High School.
what a
God.
mango. Oh,
So like if somebody drove up to you in a very white van with no windows and they opened the door and it said ghost hunting, come with me, you get like you know like free ghost hunting, you getting in?
I'm there.
I'm in
Where,
that
where,
van.
where are we going? Where are we going?
Where we go?
Where are we dropping,
Drop-
boys?
Let's go.
Drive.
Hey, I mean,
Oh my
if you're
god.
gonna go investigate or you're just gonna become a
That's
spirit.
like
Right? It's either you're going to investigate or you're just gonna become a part of the investigating.
I
Like,
was just gonna say, or you're gonna become a ghost to do the ghosting. I fucking love that.
you're
It's-
just confined to that white van. Then what do you do? Because that's just
Haunting a van. That's
I
kinda-
mean,
that sounds like
one-
something
I'd make it
see
the
on
most
Netflix.
active
This is kind
location in the world.
this is kind of fucked up, but do you think like a junkyard could be haunted with like the cars and
oh
shit?
fucking
yeah.
shit! I can see where you're going.
Well,
with that.
especially like
Yeah.
those ones that were people that had fatality accidents and
Yeah.
stuff. 'Cause, like I've seen
Right.
like
I said it was
I've worked
fucked
with-
up.
Yeah, because it's not like the scene of the accident really is you know, like that's it's a significant place, but like you were in the
That's your
car.
car. Like you spend so
Yeah.
much time in your car and you love your
Shit.
car. Like
Oh,
your car being
that's
all the-
kind
like,
of
I mean, I can ruin your
that
guys'
kind of hit
night.
home for a
I
second.
could
Dave, do
easily
you,
ruin it.
Dave, do you realize why that just hit home?
No.
Yeah.
Now
Okay, so back in high school,
You don't have to if you don't want
yeah,
to.
that-
no, it's fine.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
so back in high school. I believe it was my senior year.
There's a lot that happened in that car that year.
Anyway,
I didn't know him back then.
anyway, no, so one of my very good friends, Bryce, was on the football team. I was in charge of the student section. I would often talk to the guys, like, what are some good things that we can do to help you guys? Like, we were practically winless. So I was like, how can we help you?
We gotta get the
Like,
spirits up.
right? But his girlfriend at the time, Jordan, was on the cheerleading squad. And there was one day that she was babysitting, and she had just picked the kid up. And she came to a T, or like a four-way intersection, but the two roads that she was coming from on the other side, they stop, but the other ones don't.
Yep.
And there was a really big like tree or bush like that was just directly in her blind side.
Yeah.
And she didn't see there was a garbage truck that was coming, going 70 and a 55.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
And he hit her dead on. She passed on impact, and they were thrown into the yard across the street, and they hit a tree and wrapped the tree.
Damn.
So I've been out there multiple times. I went out there like a few weeks after, and there were still shards of glass in the yard, things like that. But yeah, that just kind of opened up a whole new question of like, hey, where's her car at? Like, and like, obviously, like, I don't want to be like disrespectful with it.
No,
but
I
it's
get what
like,
you're saying.
It's like one of those things.
Something more to explore now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's the investigator in all of us.
Like,
if there's a way to contact them too, like, you know what I mean, or contact her, I mean, like, by all means, like, I'm sure there's a message that needs to be heard.
Yeah. It was one of those things. It destroyed Charleston, but it also brought Charleston a whole lot closer to one another.
Galvanizes. It's weird how, like, in times of peril and in a lot of misfortune or like grief, how close you find yourself with like the community, or like, you know, like even friend groups that come back together and shit like that. It's like, it's pretty, it's interesting how it takes that to do it, but it's also like, it's a show of like, you need the human connection. And that's why I definitely think like when we pass on, we're getting that same connections.
Unfortunately, the death, it has a lot of good things too. It reminds you of how good a person was and how many people they connected with. Like when you come together and like have that mourning for them, like,
and that's creating energy too.
It's creating energy, and that could be what helps spirits going on. So maybe there's something into like the whole like ritual of a funeral and things like that.
Yeah,
like,
because I mean, it was
a lot of times
a concept that was
like,
brought up by like people, you know,
like. So like,
like I mean, like
people don't get a proper funeral. Like they don't.
Yeah.
Funerals are expensive.
They
like,
really
are.
Yeah. Like the unmarked graves or the mass graves where all these people.
Yeah, from back in the
that's like
day.
the last thing they see.
Man, the things they did with human bodies in the early 1800s, like,
it's crazy they could get away with all of it.
Well, even like, you know, when COVID was at its worst point, like the things they were doing with bodies then was just, like there was, I think, a morgue over in New York that wasn't storing bodies properly or something like that, and they ended up removing like 60 or so bodies and just decomposition. It was like, that's horrible. Like that's you know,
that's not how I want to go out. I'll tell you that. I want to go out in a Viking funeral. Like I want to be burned on a boat. I don't give a fuck what you do with anything else or how you do it. You put me on a boat and you burn that son of a bitch. I mean, just burn.
Except the person shooting the arrow has horrible aim, so they're missing every shot.
It's gonna be like 6 shots, dude. I want it on video too for everybody to come, like every.
And you want that song
every generation.
playing,
Yeah, 100%. I want to like do the throat singing myself, so when it plays, it's me singing it. Oh fuck yeah!
Oh god.
See, I'll see you guys at the dinner table soon.
That's epic.
That is fucking epic though. That would be a fucking sick ass way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could die any way I want to be ghost hunting. Like, I want to just be like sitting there. I want to see the fucking spirit and I want to have like all the equipment go off and the whole room just like lights up with like lights and bullshit, and then everything kind of just like is on recording, and then I just keel over dead. Perfect way to go. I'd be so happy. I'd be like, all right, use that shit.
Right. Put that shit
Yeah.
out there.
And then I will follow you around and I will make sure we're doing what we need to. Like when
Yelling
you
at
guys
them in
become
the
spirits,
EVP.
what are you gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? Like what's the first thing you do?
After I die,
Yeah,
I'm
like
taking a
if
spooky
it's
dookie.
like you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Like you turn the Casper.
I'm trying to
Spooky
get
dookie.
I'm visiting family, and then I'm hitting every single haunted location that I did not hit when I was alive.
See, I was thinking
I'm-
like I need to go see the edge of space. Like I want to see the cosmos. Like if I can go anywhere, like dog, that'd be fucking sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Because my lungs after smoking methanol cigarettes for a while will not let me go to space. I will freeze and die.
But as a ghost.
But as
no
a
limit.
ghost, dog,
That's
I
okay.
can like 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like anywhere.
I'm there.
Who needs lung capacity when you're a ghost?
Fuck that shit. Like I can take a poop wherever I want.
Yeah, spooky dookies all day.
Spooky
Dude,
doopy.
I really don't
Spooky
think
dookies.
poop.
Dude, I mean, what need for a fucking like
don't think it's
bowel
possible.
system would you need? After
Right.
Right.
You're just a floating head through the cosmos. That's all you gotta worry about.
That's
I'm
not-
fine with that.
Oh, what if
This
orbs,
is the money maker.
orbs this entire time were ghost poops?
It's like a fish tank.
We're
It's like a fish
seeing
tank
her
of ghost
now.
poop.
Bruh. We're just living in a fishbowl full of spirit poop.
Oh.
Like what is? Oh no!
So then those places you walk into that are like really smelly, you're like, oh, there's just been
No.
long times of ghost poop just build up
That
everywhere.
just fucking ruined it for so many people that were gonna be so excited about going on their first investigation. You're floating around a spirit poop, man.
Yeah.
We're all in a
Is
sewage
that
tank
dust? No,
together.
it's ghost poop.
It's just ghost poop. I mean, you can't taste it. Like, is it fine? It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Is that
Totally fine.
ketchup and onion? I don't know. It was like 50
Is
years
that
ago.
Is that oregano?
Oh God.
Fuck, right?
Wait, where's the rails?
Y'all believe in
Where's the
Bigfoot?
rails?
We'll go that
I-
way with it.
I feel
Yeah.
like anything's possible because there's nothing that is truly to say that it's real or it's not
no,
real.
Bigfoot's
I believe
an alien.
Yeah.
He's an alien. That's
He
why
just,
we don't.
it's like he just got left behind.
Yeah, or he just goes and hides really well, and then he flies away when he doesn't want to be fucking like nobody would be like if you get caught
like-
as a fucking Sasquatch and you're super highly intelligent and you have a fucking flying saucer because that's probably what they do. It sounds so fucking crazy.
It does.
Like
He's like Iron Man. He has blasters
like
in his
you know what I
hand.
mean? Like
He's
he
launching in
has
space.
to know that he was on camera because it's gonna be put on the internet and it's gonna go everywhere. And if it is an
Wanted
actually real
Squatch.
picture where he's like, oh shit, they're gonna fucking do what they do with these. He's gonna be like, all right, I'm out. I gotta go to the next location or whatever, like next safe house. Because it's like fucking humans, man. They just everywhere.
It's like that
Ruin
beef jerky
this.
commercial. That's just the real Sasquatch. That's the real Bigfoot.
Those commercials were
They're
epic.
getting good. Like they're still coming, making a comeback. I've been
Making
seeing a few of them,
comeback?
dude.
Let's go.
Making a comeback. Fucking bring my nostalgia all the way back.
Right.
Old ones, epic.
They're gonna bring back those zoo animal plates.
Zoo
Please?
bells.
Dude,
Yeah.
fucking Zaboomafoo. Like I remember that from back in the day. I used to fucking rock that shit. I fucking every time I would go to fucking kindergarten, elementary school. Yo, put Zaboomafoo on after school. You don't even know what that is?
No.
Oh, you're older than I am. That's right. It was right around the end of my childhood.
Zaboomafoo. Yes.
Bro, I don't even want to tell you the cartoons I watched growing up. I'll sound so fucking old.
Old Greg. I'm old Greg.
Legit like Tom and Jerry.
Tom and
Like,
Jerry's good though.
Yeah, but they were
I
like,
watched Tom and Jerry.
It's before they couldn't do gore.
yeah.
When they were killing each other, like outright stabbing each other.
OG Scooby Doo.
The OG shit.
Like the episodes were coming out.
Fucking God.
Goosebumps. I
Dude,
used to watch the hell out of Goosebumps.
fucking Goosebumps.
Mhm.
So good. What was your guys' favorite show growing up? Like paranormal show? Like was it
Ghost
Destination
Hunters.
Fear, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures? Like what did
Ghost
it for you?
Adventures.
Did it?
Ghost Adventures did it because I like saw them in person, and I was like, hey, I can go watch
Like
them.
that is my ninja.
But yeah, Ghost Adventures. I mean, I watched Fact or Faked a little bit, but
I don't think I ever watched Fact or Fake.
It
Destination
was-
Fear. Ooh, Josh Gates, man, bravo, he does such a
Yeah.
good job. It was just the taste of everything, you know, like adding
Right.
that little
Josh
flavor
Gates
on
is
it was
the
so good.
absolute man.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like living the best life ever.
Like the video that they had from Chernobyl, where they caught the thermal, they caught like the like footsteps in the fucking room, and they caught like the fucking table moving on its own, and
that
you
was
could see the
before it was
table.
even close to safe to
Like,
go there.
dude, that's fucking unreal.
And the Yeti
Right.
footprint.
Oh yeah, the Yeti footprint was pretty wild.
And they
too.
caught whatever that was on thermal too. So they
Mhm.
had thermal evidence
of
the
a
thing,
creature out there.
of a creature that they got the footprint of, which is
That's the most credible thing I've ever seen. Fucking
honestly,
wild
yeah,
coyote.
the most credible. Like,
Who's that guy that we did?
oh my gosh,
The
you
dude that
guys
faked it.
Coyote from Brave.
Oh, Coyote Peterson.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah, Coyote
faked the
Peterson. Yeah, he
Sasquatch
fucking
thing.
faked it. He was like,
Bro.
"This is a Bigfoot
Yeah,
skull,"
I
and then
heard
a
about
week
that.
later, he had to
Bigfoot
recant.
Oh my
skull.
gosh, 'cause I was so like thought he was like legit.
We
Like,
legit dove
I
head
did
first.
too.
We're gonna
I
be
thought
like
he was
one
like
of the first to bring an
next like
episode out on it.
Steve Irwin type guy. Like,
Mhm.
was just really good for
Nah,
wildlife,
fucking
and then he
misinformation.
did a hoax video for no reason randomly.
Yeah, there was no reason for it at all.
No, I watched the first part of it, and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude! Like, are you serious?" I was so hyped for this bullshit. Like, I love the videos that I go on there and I see like the real investigators, like the real people that are putting boots to the ground, like the blue collar people that are just like,
Yeah,
we work full-time jobs and this shit's really happening out here. And we're just trying to have some fun, man. Like, see what's happening.
Yeah.
It is so much more rewarding to like sit through what other people might think is garbage rather than just like the like in your face bullshit that like the mainstream medias are just feeding you. And it's like, I don't think too many of the big channels do it, but like sometimes I'm like, this is a little thick. Like, I get what we're going for with production value here, but like, are we being true to ourselves?
but that
Right.
there's a difference between having good production value and being true than
Yeah.
just downright being
Fucking
a
hoaxing.
dickwad. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like I always feel weird when I like try to like condense like long sessions of certain things where it's like a lot of this is really, really good. Like, I don't want to get rid of all of it, but also like retention rate is real. You know, like we
Yeah.
want people to stay interested. We don't want to lose people because they're like, this is too slow, this is too boring, like this isn't flashy enough, you know. So it's like, well, how do I get around presenting the most evidence and in the best context? Because you know, like
Yeah.
you have to have a context for the whole story that's being told that night. Because every time you do this, you are telling a story. It is 100% from start to finish. This night started like this. Somebody talked to us, and it ebb and flowed this way. Or if you don't catch anything, it just ebb and flowed that way.
I think it's important too to like post the nights that you think you don't got much.
Those are the best.
Those are always like
It's
the
fun.
best,
It
honestly.
shows yourselves. Like, we've been told that many times, and it's like, really appreciate hearing it. And I wish people would give it more credit. A lot of the watchers, I know a lot of people that are on our channel and that will see this are more interested in that type of content, but I wish it was more appealing to like the general public.
Yeah.
But that is the kind of the trend I think the paranormal community
It does feel like it's starting to like
like
move
move
towards the
from
way
the,
that
like,
it should be.
the like TV
Yeah.
production style YouTube to like a lot of people going, no, like
No,
I
like
kinda
the
wanna
raw
see,
footage,
like
like
normal
the
people
whole
do
set.
this, not like
Well,
personalities.
like, and I think that kind of attributes to live streaming investigations now is that people
It's so
crave
new.
being there. Like, people want to
Mhm.
see the emotions. People want to see, like,
Yeah,
from
because it's real time. That's what's
Yeah.
the difference is.
yeah, people want to see that point A to point B. Hey, this is how long it took for us to catch this evidence. But yeah, retention rate is, and like that's another thing is like, I know my attention span is shit.
Yeah, I have a
Like,
goldfish.
I can't sit still. Ask her. We try to watch movies. I'm bouncing around trying to do this. I'll go like edit a short clip for 2 minutes, and then I'll go wash like 3 dishes, and
Or he's watching, or he's on X or TikTok,
or I'm like scrolling TikTok, and I'll get on
And it's like,
X,
what
and
are
I'll
you
go back to
doing?
TikTok, and
or he'll go watch like his like friends' YouTube videos that'll just come out, and like they'll come out and he'll miss the premiere and he'll feel bad and he'll be watching it while we're supposed to be watching the
Felt that.
movie.
I felt that. I do that quite often because I'm so busy all the time too. I mean,
yeah,
there's something to say though about if you do have an overstimulated brain where you find that creative avenue, like being able to edit, like being able to do stuff like that, it takes a lot of your attention. And if it takes a lot of your attention, then all that like usual like sporadicness it's getting laser focused into one thing. And
yeah.
that's really
Yeah,
good.
'cause
When
I
I when like when
I have to be
when I
in a
can
certain
sit
mind
down,
state.
Mhm.
when I can sit down for hours and crank it out,
Yep.
and that's what
Look
happened
at
with
you.
our National House in video. Is I was
Feel
able
it,
to
it'll
sit
look
down,
good.
yeah, sit down and crank it out, and
That's what she said.
I
Slipped it in there. I almost spit fucking coffee out of my nose. I just slipped that one right in there, huh?
oh, I wasn't expecting that one.
You never do.
But nope. But yeah, no, and like in my opinion, that was one of our better edited videos. And the same thing happened
Yeah.
with Necrosis, is I was able to sit down and crank it out.
And like you visualize it too, so it's like you put that
Uh-huh.
one back in the bank, the old spank bank.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, I can see how I want this video to come out.
No,
I see where I want it to
totally
go.
the same way. As soon as I like get to a spot
Mhm.
where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna lock in. Like I get so much.
Yeah, like
done.
all right, personal mode, like headphones on. All
Mhm.
right, just listen back. All right, I think this looks cool. I know you do that a lot.
Yeah.
You also get more attention to detail. You're not able to focus more on things that you might have missed. If you just scrolling through your footage on like your break or something like that while you're at work.
Yep.
Like
I
I
do
know
be-
that's what I do a
You're
lot
looking
too.
at my
'Cause
poop breaks.
I'm trying to
There's a-
find a strategy of like, do I want to timeline everything first and then work through it,
Or go clip by clip.
or work through it as I'm putting it together?
I like
that's
putting it together now. I think after seeing it all, it was almost overwhelming to see 3
That's
hours
where
worth of
I'm
footage.
like sitting
Yeah.
through watching so much. I'm like, man, if I could just
I still have 2.5
short-
hours.
if I could just work at 5-minute intervals, like that's just
Yeah,
gonna
next
work
thing you
out
know,
so
you're at
much
like
better.
45 minutes, and you're like, oh, like we're towards the end of the video. Like I cut out a lot of
Mhm.
fucking riffraff.
Right.
That's where I'm
That's like
trying
a
to
lot.
get better at my
Oh.
management of piecing these videos together.
When
That's the
when
hardest
do
part.
you
Load
guys
man.
start like planning out your like obviously like you guys go through the investigation? How's that process like after you finish the investigation? How soon do you guys start planning it out? Because I'm the type of guy, we'll be on our way home and I'll already be listening to stuff. I'll already be looking
Oh,
at
little
the
bit.
we're definitely like that too. But for us, it's the file management and transfer
It's so
problem
fucking
that's
hard.
so difficult because sometimes like files literally will just disappear. I have
Stupid.
no idea how this happens. Literally, I remember. So this happened for the poorhouse video. We were
Mhm.
driving on the way back. He took his laptop out and literally this SSD card
Yep.
and took my phone and
Plugged both of them
took
into
all
it.
of the videos off my phone and put them onto this. And then we finally got time to sit down and put the video together.
All of them were gone.
All of my videos were not on this.
It's like, what the fuck is happening?
They just completely
Yikes.
disappeared.
And I watched them all transfer. I could like click on them and I showed they were showing there. So I was like,
Uh-huh.
weird. But like realistically, after the investigation, we'll like watch a couple of the hot clips back where we're like, I think we caught some fucking
Right,
crazy
yeah.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like the hottest highlight from the night, we'll definitely watch back like right away.
Yeah, we'll play it on
Yeah.
like the audio through the car, and then we'll get home, and then the next couple of days we'll try to get all the files together. But then it's like
Mm,
life gets fucking like hectic sometimes, so like it'll be like a
Yeah.
couple of days or week, and then all of a sudden one of us will like see something, we'll have an idea, and it'll just spiral
Mhm.
from there. And it's like
Mhm.
whatever little bit of inspiration we get, we just run with it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like for us too, I don't know how it is for you. It's like you film the video, but then you really don't know what you want.
The whole
to
night
do
feels
with
like a
it
blur.
without
Yeah.
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 watching a
You
little bit of
forget.
what happened to kind of figure out, okay, how are we gonna do the history? How are we gonna do this? Like, is it gonna go, you know?
I always say like leave that for after because it's gonna get too overwhelming if you don't like try to remember the stuff.
Yeah. It's like I don't know what it is, but I'm like that. I'm that type. We'll get home because we only have one nice camera, and then we have 3 still cameras, but we don't use them all that often.
Right.
And so
Yeah,
we'll just use our phones to record because these are just as nice as
Yeah, I use
most
my
of the
phone
cameras on the
too.
market.
Mhm.
And so we'll have to get all the footage uploaded to Dropbox.
Oh,
And as soon as I get,
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Dropbox is hard. I
it's
used it for a
terrible.
while.
It's terrible. We're
We hate it.
we're trying to figure out something better, but
We pay for a
it's
drive.
So, do you like
Pay for
hard
a Google
transfer
Drive.
those files off your phones, or do you have to transfer them wirelessly?
we have to do it wirelessly.
Don't do that
Yeah.
anymore. I will send you a link to a SD card reader that you can plug right into your iPhone, and it will just transfer those straight to an SD card, and you won't have any problems anymore with that. And if all you have to do is format the SD card with your camera, and that's it. Because that was the problem I was having, was trying to get my 60 frame 4K fucking files that were 20 gigabytes fucking huge to upload, and you have to have your phone always open. Like, it would always fail towards like the last couple of minutes. Like, and even
Yeah.
Google Drive, like, it did it to me so many times that I was like, I need to find a hard transfer way because this is not working. And it was an Apple adapter that Apple makes that you literally just plug in, go to your files, and just drop them, and it's easy peasy. And I was like, oh
that's
shit,
beautiful.
like I don't have to worry anymore.
I've also
Right.
we've also switched to using Type C like flash drives.
Yeah, Type C flash drives run faster, and they're usually like the 3.0 ones, which are faster speeds to upload and download too. So like that makes it easier.
I have these, so like they're Type C, but they're also USB, and they're
Plug right into your phone,
64
too.
gigs.
Nice.
So like you can fit a
Nice.
lot of shit on this.
Yeah, so it's like don't do the file uploading. Like I think it was like $29 for that little like SD card reader that I bought. So it made
Yeah,
it
that's
so
not bad
much
at all.
easier.
Like I have another one that's 250 gigs, so like you can get like a terabyte one too, which is crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, especially for anybody using iPhones. Like we'll post the link even afterwards on all of the socials and stuff where it's like it is worth getting if you're going to use your phone to record. And it, like, if you do, please, it is worth it. It is great. I love it.
Yeah, okay. And then like waiting on that for all those files to transfer. But like
Pain in
once
the
they do, I'm downloading them and I am right into
Go.
CapCut.
Right into it. Yeah.
I am.
Oh, use CapCut too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we
I like
use
it,
as well.
actually.
I really like
Like,
it. Now
I
that I'm
do. It's
learning more
really-
and more about
I
it,
used Adobe Pro a little bit to like fuck with some audio after our good friends from Texas, the Go Seekers Texas, decided, like, hey, can you help me out? Like, please. And he showed me how to do it, and then like I went back, I did it myself too, and I was like, oh, I'm learning this off for a little bit. It is a lot like CapCut, but it offers just that little bit of extra like play that you can with it. But I was like, CapCut is exactly what I need for like the basics starting out, where it's like I have like a year into it now, maybe.
Yeah.
I've been using it for like 3 years, but
Yeah, I mean, I just recently tried to start editing, and it's like,
like since I've started using CapCut, the program itself has gotten better.
It's only upgraded every single
they're
week.
constantly making it better, which is awesome. They're adding new features all the time, and it's.
I think it'll rival Adobe Pro at one point. Like it's with TikTok backing it, it's gonna get some money.
Yeah. Do you guys pay for CapCut like Premiere?
Yep.
Yeah.
We play for the Pro series. Because I mean, you get so many more transitions, but like realistically,
and the thing is I've learned you can make your
own.
We've been making our own transition effects in this new videos that we have coming out, which is a huge step in like a crazy
all
way
you
for
have to
us.
do is find like some B-roll and then like splice it in with like some of the features that they offer, and it's like, oh my god,
yeah, some really cool stuff that you can do.
I like the melt away. It looks fucking cool.
Dave, help me hide my card.
No, that's your man, not mine.
That's my man. What you talking about?
Brady's just going to be the center of a fight club. He's the grand prize.
Y'all hear about that underground fight club that's like no rules, like eye gouging and fucking biting and shit that's like going around the UK? You haven't heard about this?
Yeah, it's supposed to like prevent street violence because everyone would go to like knives and guns, and now it's
Like the
grown
dude
men
that
just
made
fighting
it
each
had his
other.
eye gouged out.
Yeah, one guy had his ear
Jesus.
bitten off, like
Okay,
in
Mike
a jar
Tyson.
carried around with him.
Yep.
Yeah,
What the fuck? Is this
You
a
heard the
Vice
same thing I did.
documentary or something?
No, this is new. This just
Yeah.
started
like
happening.
it started going around, like you know, when they did like the homeless fight clubs like
Yep.
a few years back.
Yep.
Now this is what's taking over now is
Oh, dude, the dark side of the internet's wild.
That's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Dude, some of the shit that I read, I'm like, I don't know what to believe in humanity anymore.
the other
Right.
part of me is like, you know, how did I stumble upon this? Like what
Dude,
what
yeah.
is so
Why?
what's in my
Why is
head?
this being shown to me?
Why is the internet showing me
Like,
this?
I didn't like anything like that.
Right.
Do you think AI is eventually just gonna like take over the world?
AI is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Well, like, you know, you got the government trying to, you know, regulate it already, but
It's an
you know,
arms
Chat
race.
GPT's dude is now like part of Microsoft, and he's running more
Yep.
AI for Microsoft. Like,
Dude,
it's just gonna spiral.
if we had a like a government official that was AI, like it didn't, you know, it didn't take any of the bias that people have, and it
Mhm.
regulated the money, just the money, not like the like decisions made by like the people that would make it, but the financial decisions, there'd be no debt. This is
Mhm.
almost a proven fact because it will take all of the information everywhere where it's doing it correctly, and it'll crunch it all down instantly. Like, it's fucking stupid how good AI is right now. And like
Yeah.
I truly believe that within our lifetimes, we're gonna see like another like a big technological
Oh.
boom.
Oh
Have
yeah.
you seen this? The AI people at the freaking Chargers games and shit.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh
fucking-
yeah, yeah.
It's like it's just those little like things that are like slowly encroaching, where it's like we see those dogs, like the robot dogs that are fucking wild. They can do so much shit, and they're using the military like realm of shit. But like that's just a small fraction of what it's all capable of. Like, it could put everybody out of work. It could literally change the whole trajectory of our species, and we're only innovating. That's all humans are innovators. We've always made better tools, better everything.
Well, like the Tesla bot, you know, it's a precursor to iRobot. You know, we've got
Yeah.
the people that are going to have them in their houses, and you know what happens if one day it decides, okay, we don't need you anymore. We know what we're
Right,
doing.
if you all haven't seen this,
Yeah,
here
these
it
are
is.
fucking crazy. I don't know if that's just really, really good fucking like prosthetic work and those are real people, or if that's actually like robotic, like
Dude, I
So-
can't
fucking
tell.
people.
Well, isn't there like a new movie coming out called like
Yeah,
Maker or something
was
like
a-
that? That's like just like they're built just like that in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was for a movie promotion thing, but like, I don't think we're
Even
too far
still,
off.
like
Yeah, but
We're
like
not
that's
too far off.
I don't
that.
think we're too far away from that actually happening. Like,
Not at all.
mm, I think it'll be they'll introduce it
I mean,
more
they've
like
already made
commercially,
like
like
AI robots.
Yeah, I think it's gonna become more commercially available within the next 10 years. But like where it's gonna be at in the next 10 years is gonna be leaps and bounds from what we're seeing. Where it's like we're probably just seeing like the rollout where it's like, nah, dog, we got the good shit in the back still.
Walmart self
Just you
checkout better
wait.
look out.
Mhm.
I mean, it's really scary too, because like, I mean, this
Look
is
at
America.
fucking Israel's Iron Dome. They just rolled
Yeah.
out the iron fucking laser system,
Those
whatever. It's
I've seen
called.
those videos from them like deflecting the bombs coming from Gaza, and it's
Thousands of
insane.
missiles.
Like,
It's
yeah,
insane. And that's computer fucking and it's on a fucking millisecond. Like,
yeah,
like
it's got to be
DARPA,
ready to
man.
go on a moment's notice. Like it's
DARPA must like I know like the Air Force and shit. Like what DARPA has to be fucking insane. Like, because I've talked to a few people that were in the military that like had like clearance to work on some of the DARPA stuff. They were like, you don't even fucking know the half of it, kid. Like, it's so much deeper and goes so much more than you think.
But then it
Sure,
makes you think, why do you have to have something like that? What is it that you're so afraid of fighting against that you need something that has
mean,
that quick of a response to it?
You put a
which goes
helicopter
back
on
to that.
and look, and you can shoot people with it. You don't even have
Yeah.
to do anything. Just put the helmet on and shoot people.
it goes
new
back to
virtual
that
reality.
space conversation of what's out there that you guys are so scared about. Like,
I don't
because
think
yeah,
it's
what's
cool.
oh no,
It's
It
not
can't be.
coincident. Like, yeah, you got the people talking about the major weapons in Antarctica, Israel unleashing this Iron Dome type thing that just goes on and on and on. Like, you see more and more of like the nuke test, and everything is getting stronger and more
Lasers, too.
powerful. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
The
laser
lasers are
technology
fucking
is getting
crazy now.
insane.
Like, we can literally buy lasers that will like hurt us.
yeah.
And it's like, you can just buy that.
They're like,
Like,
here you
what
go,
the
go
fuck?
ahead, have it.
Like,
Don't
here,
shine it at
just
somebody.
yeah,
Here's a
don't shoot it
laser.
at planes.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't aim it
you're
at
not
this
telling me
tree,
they
you'll
don't have a
start a forest
gun that
fire.
can fucking like put a hole through you just by going bang. Like, fuck that, you do. You're just hiding it.
Right.
They're like, when World War III hits the fan and we got the alien commies coming down, we're rolling this out.
Plasma rifles. just-
Straight up rail guns, like that's real.
Here comes the ray gun and the thunder gun from Call of Duty. Just they're
Dude,
like,
I
oh, we've
don't
had
even
this the whole
fucking
time.
doubt that.
They just
Like,
pull
I'm
it out
looking for
casual. Here you go,
relics.
guys.
Yeah.
Like, where's the trident that like lets me control the weather and shit, dog? Has to be there. What do you guys think
So
about
what-
Atlantis?
I was just about to say the same thing.
Were you really?
Like,
I fucking read your
Yeah.
mind. I actually heard a
Yeah.
couple of things about it too, and it's like I kind of want to talk about it. Where it's like, do you think the remains aren't underwater? Because I heard a theory where it could be.
I think it shifts with the tide.
Do you?
I think, for it to become a city underwater, I feel like there had to have been some sort of seismic shift in whether it be the tectonic plates or even just the way that the moon changed that caused the tide to rise and sink the whole city.
Mm.
And it comes and goes, like when the tide's at its peak and when it's at its lowest is when you
Yeah.
really start to see all of the artifacts and stuff like that.
So the
But
theory that I heard is fucking crazy. That it's like, it's not underwater where they think it is, like where the Bimini Road is, like where everybody like puts it. It's in like the Middle East where I forgot what mountain range it is, but like it encases like this huge circle, and it used to be underwater, and you can see like almost these outlines of what looked like aqueducts, basically, where it would like have funneled water through it. And if they did like a 3D rendering of it, it's like, okay, this would make a lot of sense on where this is Atlantis. But it's not like the city was destroyed. It took off because it's almost like it was a fucking base for a ship. That's aliens?
It goes back further to the how far along have aliens been around? If
All the time. Have to be.
like
I
they-
think
yeah.
like the
we're
Anunnaki,
just-
that's like the most logical like explanation to
I think
human
so.
evolution.
Mm-hmm.
To me. Like, how do we go from Neanderthals who rubbed sticks together and killed animals with freaking
Yeah.
wooden spears
Rocks.
How
to
did our wooden spears kill dinosaurs? That's
doing
another
Straight
thing.
up. Yeah. How the fuck does that happen?
yeah, fuck.
But
Like, how do we not
Trying
get
to find-
completely wiped out?
like
Well,
the
and it's
T-Rex
like-
looks like it could have eaten half the bloodline right then and there if it wanted to. There's
And
no
on top of that, they keep finding human remains
do.
predating what we thought humans existed at. So that means we're even older than what we think we are.
Or like even chew on this
Yeah.
too. Like,
Yeah.
what are we as a society? Working class. Everybody works. Everybody is a slave in the machine of the cog that keeps everything running.
Mhm.
Well, the Anunnaki theory is they brought us here to work, to do what they needed us to do, to mine for them. And then we somehow, some way, I forgot the story. You probably know it better than I do at this point. Like, we didn't, like, they took off and they left us here. We never got rid of that, like, slave mentality where it's like, we work. Everybody works. Like, everybody works hard.
There was
Otherwise,
a
wheels don't turn.
CIA document, I think is what it was, that basically explained like what religion and what everything was. And I think it said something about like we're just containers. And it was like it just left it at that. Like
Yeah.
containers for what? What is it that they're, because I mean, you get the people that get abducted or say they've been abducted and they've gone through the ships, they've gone through all of the the experimentation and stuff like that, but it's like you don't know if that's true or if that's you're
Have
supposed
you
to
ever
take it
heard of
with
the
a grain of
21
salt.
gram
But
theory? So I love this because it piggybacks right off with us being containers. So there was a study done way back in the day, Creepy Confidential. I will always shout her out because she's the one that did an episode on it. I learned about it from her. It's awesome. So 23 grams of mass leaves your body when you die. It is documented. Every single time somebody expired during this document, 23 grams exactly left the body. That was accounted for all the secretion of the bodily fluids, all like what happens when you die, like how that all that stuff works because it was a mortician doing it, and every single time 23 grams. What are those 23 grams? Is that our soul leaving our body? And if that's our soul, then in regards to like aliens or like our vessels, like are those valuable to more than just us? Like I wonder.
Ooh.
Aliens are soul harvesters.
Very much so could be. Or these like godlike beings that we perceive in our afterlife are actually aliens that when we come back and we have these I was on the river Styx. Well, maybe it wasn't a human guiding you, but to your perception it was. It's just little things like that where it's like it skews my realities where it's like it's a very good possibility that
Wormhole.
we don't know, probably never will until I expire, but I think it's a fun thought, especially where it's like, man,
I honestly think
have
like
to think about it.
the Bart Cybrell interlinking death and aliens together when we interviewed
It
him
was
is,
really,
like, one
really
of the most
obscure, but it was eye-opening.
it at the time it seemed super obscure, but like thinking about it now, like it makes a lot of sense too.
We ain't got no answers.
Like because we don't know the answers, but
Literally.
like look at religion, like it's in every culture from the creation of mankind, pretty
Mhm.
much. But it's all based around some type of higher spiritual being, something of that nature. Literally every single culture. Well, what is
Yeah.
that spiritual being that they were all seeing and experiencing?
Yeah.
Right.
And
Was
if
it
we were all,
aliens?
if we were
Was
all
it
created in his image too, like to even like tie it back to like the religious side of it too a little bit. If we're all created in his image, then we all resemble, like that higher being. So why are we getting accounts of other like looking beings? Like that's where I'm like, how does that work then?
right? What are the grays, man? What are
Yeah,
the
like
grays?
why are we
What are
seeing
the
this?
grades?
Man,
Oh,
the movie
jeez.
Signs fucked me up as a kid.
So-
Like that's what it all ties back to
Dude,
me.
that
Like that's what
one
aliens look
scene-
like, dog.
That one scene, man. It's the
The walking through on the
Christmas
TV.
party.
Yeah.
where he walks
Well,
across the
here's the thing. Do you think that aliens look like how they depict them in the movies? Like little green or green or gray men with the big eyes and the
I think
triangular.
that they are legit.
I
Like,
think
it's
some of those
a
accounts
being.
may be. I think it's probably more skewed than what we understand because like what does your brain do when you see something you can't understand? It immediately tries to draw parallels from other things that you do understand. So if you
Yeah.
start to like correlate, like something that you've never seen before, like you're immediately going to go, well, that's a shape of an egg, it's got big saucer plates for eyes. So it's like you're already drawing correlations from other things that you've seen. What if your
It's like
brain just
elected
can't
over demon.
comprehend what the fuck you're looking at
Yeah.
and it just makes it up for you?
Or they're just making you see that.
That too, yeah, and that's another thing. Are we being injected by their by like a psychic presence? Because if we only use 2% of our brains, what about a being that can use all of their brain? Like it has. There's something that's like we have like an inhibitor for sure. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, we gotta
Have you seen that
governor
movie, Lucy?
I don't know if I have. I've seen Limitless, like
Lucy.
different concept, but
Lucy, it basically this woman is taken into this drug trade, and she gets some blue crystal thing, but it opens up her brain capacity, and it shows kind of what happens as your brain develops over to like 100% usage, and throughout it, like you see her like being able to kind of use telekinesis to move things and start seeing things before they're happening. She starts seeing more of like a cosmic view of everything, kind of like a DMT type trip a lot. Like it was just like one of those, if you use 100% of your brain, is it overloading your system's
body.
nervous
Yeah.
to compensate for what everything you're taking in at once.
I love that. Well, because like if my like I guess our theory at this point, because you've said it before I did, and I just adopted it. Like if we're all just vibrating on the same molecule level, like everybody has that vibration in them because that's just what molecules and atoms do. Like if we do unlock those pathways that are completely like blocked off to us right now, well, I don't think that's too out of the realm of possibilities where it's like you can unlock that vibration. You can literally be like, all right, like I can feel that because it's now my senses are even higher. Like everything, every neuron, every little synapse is like I can manipulate it all now. Like it's
Like-
crazy to me to think that deep, but
it is.
Yeah.
And like you add the whole like lucid dreaming type
oh god, lucid
thing
dreaming
into
is so
it.
cool.
Like in a lucid dream, it's basically like Insidious, where you're like literally walking around in a dream that you are basically in creation of because it's inside of your own consciousness. But like at the same time, it could be real. You don't know
Yeah.
because you're not fully in charge of the vessel that you're in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I love that though.
And like the whole sleep paralysis things, the things that people see in sleep paralysis,
It's
are they
fucking
actually
nuts.
there in front of your face, or is it just well? And that's like your brain will never create a picture
That
that
you've
it
never
hasn't
seen.
seen before.
Exactly. It's so
So
fucking crazy.
where are you
realize that.
seeing this? Like,
You had to have seen it somewhere.
Yeah, you know,
Like
I don't.
exactly.
Is your brain allowed? I know this is gonna sound really funny. Like, is your brain allowed to like morph faces together to make one, or is it just like no?
No, I don't think it can. Because there's
You know what
books
I
on
mean?
this shit
Like,
where
it's
they've like
fucking weird
they've
because your
studied
conscious
dreams
is
and
weird.
stuff. And
yeah,
from the one book, I don't remember what it was called, but I read it, and it said that it will put faces of people on different bodies and stuff, but it'll use like what you have seen
Like the
before. Like,
templates you've seen.
yeah, it can't create
yeah.
like generate like computer generated. It's
Mm.
not like playing Sims and pressing the fucking dice on a sim. Like it's not like that.
Oh,
That's my
geez, the
best
Sims.
analogy.
That's really interesting. How does this make you feel? Sleep paralysis is always audio based, never visual. Like I feel like to me that would be a little more spooky, because like
Yeah,
the ominous
Mhm.
sounds I can't discern from what I can see. Because if I can clearly see something, all right, target right there. Don't fucking come any closer. I can get away from
right.
you. I
Mhm.
see you. But like when you hear those sounds, it's like, oh shit, we got a fucking silent thief in the night, dog. Like,
It-
oh
it-
Yeah,
shit.
you can't talk
that-
yourself down from it. You're just
Yeah,
stuck
and you're
with
just
it.
back
laying there.
that stems back into investigating, where it's if you can figure out where a noise came from, you feel that sense of like, okay, this is it, like everything's okay now. But if you can't find it,
Yeah,
I don't know
and
about
like
you, I'm on edge for the rest of the night. Like,
they're fellow investigators too. So like your ears train themselves to like pinpoint where sounds come from for sure.
yeah,
Like when you hear footsteps running up behind you and then you turn around and
Yeah.
there's nothing there. You're like, what the
Like, am I
don't
about
bring
to
up
get jumped
footsteps,
on?
Dave. It's too soon.
Like straight up, like we were out in the woods at the forest video that we just did, and we were just literally setting up, standing there. Riley was putting his shirt back on, and we just hear funk, 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 funk. And like that's
in
loud
the
as fuck,
trail,
dude.
like in the trail we were standing in.
And we all just turned,
Yeah.
look, just didn't even bat an eyelash because there was nothing there. And it's like, well, I know where that was coming from, but like, the fuck
The
is that?
same,
the
the same
Winnebagos
thing
are coming.
happened to me. Our next video that's coming out, we were at a cemetery, and Spirit Talker had been on point all night. Like it was spot on. What
Dude, you know what's really funny? I'm sorry to interject. As soon as I talked about the theory in 21 grams, and I was like, Noel, creepy confidential, literally she heard us talking through the ether.
Literally.
100%.
But no, it was we were just standing there, and I think like Spirit Talker, like we had tried to like take a turn with our investigations and just see what would happen. So like I was like, for some reason the question came into my mind, is the land cursed?
Yeah.
And we got like a direct correlation response on the spirit talk. I forget exactly what it said, but as soon as it answered, I heard it sounded like boots, like
Oh, like
heavy
the
ass boots
yeah, like steel
running
toes. I know
towards
what
me
that
through
sounds
the
like.
leaves.
Yep.
And then as soon as I turned around and I started backing up towards Dave because I thought like I was getting charged by like a deer or something. There's nothing out there. And then Spirit Talker goes, "I got you."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like,
Started
"Are you
laughing, yeah,
fucking
'cause
kidding me?"
he turned
love
around
that.
with like pure panic on his face. Like he
I
was like,
love
"You
that.
didn't. You're just coming at me," and I'm like,
Dude, that's
"Yeah."
rules of 3 though, dog. Like you had 3 different things happen, and then Spirit Talker clearly said something that was extremely relevant to the situation at hand. And if people want to go ahead and draw their like their string cheese theories, and say like it doesn't work, it does though, because
It
like you might get
does.
some hoopla, but like if a
It's the same thing as an ovulus. It's the same thing as any
exactly,
other device that we use.
yeah, and
It just
if it's
puts
going
it
off with
into
other stuff, it's
a word.
real. It adds
And the
so much
thing is, too,
credibility.
like even everything that's coming through it could be legit. Who knows what the spirits are even trying to tell you? You know what I
Right?
mean? Like,
Exactly.
they're all getting a chance to finally speak. Sometimes I feel like it's a freaking mosh pit of
Everybody's
ghosts
just
coming
shoving their
Especially-
fingers in a
coming
hole.
through.
Especially in a cemetery. Like,
Oh yeah, cemeteries
Stuff's not
for
making
sure.
sense because it's everyone at once. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't put any story together because it's this person, then that person, then this person, and that person. You're like, who the fuck am I talking to right now? What are you?
but it was crazy. So there was a point in time. So we were investigating. It's a place called Ragdoll Cemetery.
Mhm.
The story of it is this little girl named Sally died when she was 7-8 years old.
Mhm.
It said that her only friend was her ragdoll, and that her last wish was to be buried with her ragdoll.
Okay.
For whatever reason, that last wish was denied, and she wasn't buried with the ragdoll. And so now it's said that the ragdoll haunts the cemetery looking for its long lost friend. Like, just kind of that local legend and things to like creep kids out to keep them from going there at night. But like, we didn't get any relevance to the ragdoll,
Yeah.
but we got relevance to her dying of an illness, which is
Mhm.
well, one story. Another story is said that she was murdered, but it doesn't make sense why her last wish would have been to
Be buried with a doll
her
if she was
ragdoll
murdered.
if she was
Yeah.
murdered. So, but there was one point in time where I said, okay, I'm going to ask all the spirits that aren't Sally to back off.
Yeah.
Like, we will come back to you, but let us talk to Sally. And it was then that it was like the land is cursed, and then it was like, well, no. At first it said, I'm afraid to talk to you. When earlier in the night it said, I want to talk to you. Like, I like
Interesting.
talking to you. And so we're like, and this was right after we started asking like the deeper, darker questions of what's going on with this land, what happened to you, and then it said something like there's a demon here, and I just kind of laughed at it.
Yeah.
Do I think
We
there's a
usually
demon there?
Yeah, we usually go,
Absolutely
"Haha,
not.
good try."
Yeah, but and then but that series of events where it goes, there's a demon here, the land is cursed, footsteps, like I'm scared now. And then Spirit Talker said, got you. Like, I think it's really just someone playing a prank, someone joking with us. But like that series of events like proved that cemetery has activity.
Right.
Like,
We
even if
find
you don't always get equipment going off, you don't always get EVPs, you don't like there have been like that night the REM pod didn't go off once. The music
Yeah.
box didn't go off once. The only piece of equipment to go off was a cat ball.
Mhm.
And like it was intelligent. Like, I would ask, can you light up that cat ball again? Boom. Like, it would stop, wait, do a few more questions. Boom, cat ball. But
That's crazy.
yeah, no, I'm excited for that one. It's gonna be
I love
it's gonna be a good one.
cemetery
And it's
investigations.
yeah.
Mhm.
And that's
I think it
that's
makes
kind of
sense too to like ask, like I'll get to you guys. Like, can we just like have a one-on-one right now?
and like because she was the main reason that I went out there. All these stories, so like our airtight bridge investigation, St.
Yeah.
Omer Cemetery with the witch, Ashmore Estates. These are all stories that I grew up hearing. Like I grew up knowing about them. They're all stories that when I was in high school, I went out to these locations. Like I
Yeah.
would go out there and just sit out there for hours and just wait for something to happen. And now that I have the equipment and the knowledge that I have to go back out there and ask the correct questions and get the evidence that I've gotten out there or that we've gotten,
Mhm.
it's been insane.
That's insane. Like I love that actually.
Yeah. Like
He was going to go get baby stuff, guys. Sorry.
no, he's going to steal
it's
the gold
fine.
from Smaug.
Oh, is he?
I'm going on an adventure.
We're going on an adventure, Harry. We're going to Candy Mountain.
Candyman Charlie.
Oh my fucking god, I love that.
But no, that's gonna be one of our not like final investigation videos because obviously we're gonna continue to do that. But like we're starting the Spectre files and everything like that.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be one of our last investigation videos before we start that and start doing like deep dives into our investigations and things like that. And
Yeah, I love that.
everything. So
Yeah, we like to do that like too. Like realistically, we have to get back to it because we've been very negligent on like the old style of how we would do the podcast. But like breaking down the investigations and like talking about them and talking them out together, it helps a lot with like adding clarity to it. But like how you felt during it too, because it's like a lot of times we just present this, but it's like you don't understand the amount my body was like freaking out that whole time that was happening. Where it's like I don't feel that stuff normally. Like I don't have goosebumps all the time.
I don't ever get goosebumps.
Oh, I hope you do one day.
Dude,
Oh, I did this
I
last
get
investment.
goosebumps when Brady's watching me.
Sure, like
Yeah.
I've gotten them like a couple times on Paranormal Investigations, but like, my daily life, I don't just like get them.
Oh yeah.
Like when you
Yeah.
get every hair to stand up and you're like, diffic happening.
What was that?
All the time.
Oh my goodness. See, like
yeah.
it's the best thing about it though.
It really is. It really is.
I think it's like when you get that goosebumps feeling and you
When
feel
you get
that cold
energy,
spot
that
and you can
ooh.
feel like that's actually like a ghost, 100%. Like you're
Yeah.
actually
Like
having
when do you
an
have that in your
real
normal
encounter
day, you know?
with a
Real-
ghost.
Like, you
yeah.
might put yourself in a situation for it
So,
to
like-
happen, but like when does that just happen to you?
You'll see the video when it
Yeah.
comes out on the tattoo shop, but like when I was having my shirt pulled, I only felt this cold spot and the electricity on one side of my body. This side of
Yeah.
my body was totally normal, was normal temperature, everything. And it's like, how do you explain that other than there's literally another being, spirit
Mhm.
being
And we're just
standing
watching it
next to
happen,
me?
and it's like I believe you for sure because that's weird.
Yeah.
One.
That's like the first night over at Ashmore when when I went back with Brady and Lizzie, it was like 30 degrees outside. It was cold. It was windy, and everyone was bundled up with blankets and stuff. And I was cold, but if you put your hand like near me, like I was emitting so much heat that
Dude.
it wouldn't have seemed like I was cold. But I mean, I was like frozen in my spot, couldn't move.
Bruh,
Just
I
trying
got
to
some
keep
shit
warm.
for you too then. I had a very similar situation recently with not only Creepy Confidential, but Mr. Ghost Dog, aka Mr. Creep himself. We went to Post Town Elementary in Ohio, and that place is fucking awesome. Shout out to POV and everybody else that was there. I already did the whole spiel last time I brought it all up. But I had an experience in the basement in the canned goods room where I think I was wearing a tank top very similar to this. It was like 39 degrees maybe, and it was rainy outside and it was fucking cold in there, right? Everybody else is fucking bundled up, blankets, everything. Everybody's cold. I took literally all of my clothes off and was walking around in just like a tank top and shorts and shit. And I was like, dog, like I'm literally burning up. Like I can't even cool off. Like shit was going crazy. We were getting a bunch of like dark stuff coming through. My camera died, unfortunately, during that part of the investigation. So I don't have it on video. But one of the fucking craziest. Yeah, Mr. Creep was hot too. So it wasn't just me. Like the room itself was like like it was something was happening in there. And my body was like, ooh, like bubble. And then all of a sudden our REM pod was sitting there and it just went from like zeros to like 26 milligauss, dropped back down, RIPs,
R.I.P.
And
Might
then
be in
the
the
REM
chat.
pods fucking started to just go like bing, 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 bing. And then it fucking just went blank.
Wow.
All of it turned off. And I looked at it and I was like, the backlight turned off. I was like, oh, it's still on. The REM pod's like not working. Like, what the fuck just happened? Like, turn it
Yeah.
on and off. And when I looked at it the first time, the room temperature said it was 112 degrees. And I was like, wait. No,
What?
it's not. Yeah. And I turned it off
Yeah.
and I turned it back on. I looked at it again and it said 110. And I was like, dog, what? Like,
You're
the
lying.
fuck is fucking happening?
It's back.
Hey, so
Hey,
go
Brian.
sit directly next to your router. Start
I
doing
I fixed the issue. I apologize. That should
No,
be
you're
the
fine,
last.
dog.
That should be the
Technical
last.
issues happened on the Reggie. One time I
But-
had Bluey playing in the background while I was doing this, so
Yeah, for like 20 minutes of the episode.
Hey,
it happens.
See, like, and in terms of those cold spots, I hate when people are like, "Well, you can't put that in your video because you can't
You're
prove
gonna be
that."
called a phony.
I'm like, yes, you can.
yeah.
See, and that's what
Everybody's gonna say
is
what they
my
want
whole.
anyway.
That's the
Literally.
way I look at
Oh,
it.
well.
That's my
People are
whole
gonna
thing
say
is
I'm
like,
a liar. They're gonna say I'm a liar. If they're gonna believe me, they're gonna believe me.
I
know what
just
happened.
implore those
know what I
people,
mean?
go try it. You know, like
Mhm.
go
When you
just go try
experience
it.
it for yourself, you'll look back at what I experienced, and be like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Mhm. It's
Because
like,
like that isn't the only time I've had it happen. We've talked about it when we were at the Lincoln County Jail. We experienced something very similar when we
Mhm.
felt that electric rush. And it's
Yeah,
like
it's
I always say it's
weird.
what do I always say? It's like
Electric cobwebs.
electric cobwebs.
You know, you
like,
walk through that like
yeah, it's just
the fuck
static
is
on your face.
this?
well, once you feel it, like it's wild. It's
Dude.
wild. That's the only way I can explain it. It's just,
And you know,
it's
you'll
It's
get
like-
those like experiences too when you're on these investigations. When you get like a big wave of energy and a big
Mhm.
event happens, you'll feel that 100% will.
It happens less in bigger groups though too, and I feel like that's like
It
them
right.
trying to say that it's overwhelmed by how many people are around. So that's why, I'm always catching myself walking away from everybody, kind of disappearing into my own little area because it's always like something's, maybe I should go over here and let something kind of follow me this way, see if I get anything personally.
I
than
like
whatever else
to
is
kind of
getting.
I let the energy
That just
kind of
fucking
like
opened that
direct
so
me
up.
to where I need to go. A lot
So
of
like
times.
what if this too, like the bigger groups, right? Like this is fucking light bulb moment. We're all charged particles, right? We're
Mhm.
ionized, like walking around. We are batteries. Some of us are fucking positive and some of us are negative.
Mhm.
We could be pushed if we have all kinds of like positively charged people in the room. Yeah, that attracts the spirits. But if you have like a spattering of a fuck ton of different people and you don't know what everybody else's are, yeah, you're probably gonna push those away because that's just like how polars work.
You're throwing every other vibe off from what other people
Yeah,
are
and
giving.
it's more than even just like a vibe too, because like if you look at people's blood types, like O negative, A positive, it's like what if it's more like on like that type of level where it's like our genetic makeup just like down
Repulses.
to like a
Yeah.
science, like either like pushes or pulls them in. Because some people are more susceptible, and I've always wondered why that is.
yeah,
So do you feel like being medium gives you more of that feeling that
Like,
you have more
I would
of
think so.
that draw?
Because like recently, I think I've been more open to the idea of me being more sensitive to things. Because I've had a lot of experiences, just like even outside of investigating, that it's like this is odd, and people don't usually have this stuff happen to them. Like this is really weird. Me and my wife and my kid even have weird experiences. So it's like I do think that there's something to like the aspect of, all right, it can't be just up here that's opening the door. Like, what if it is something that's like I had like a near death experience, or I have more like iron or like the something in my blood or my body that like attracts energy, like it's one of those things. Like I just
Yeah.
don't know. It's very, very, very thick.
I think we all have the ability to like, especially paranormal investigators, like to open that ability of like empathic capabilities and communication with spirits. It's like the first time you go investigating, you don't know how to open up yourself to something that you've never experienced. For a lot of people that may not have experienced it, or they experienced it once, but they don't know why they experienced it or how it happened. And like like you said earlier, going out and doing investigations just because you like doing it. It's like you're learning how to open yourself up more, and like you can genuinely create real connections with spirits too. Like I've seen it happen. Like I've felt it myself, even to where like Nunica Cemetery, there's a little girl there. Like I
Yeah.
felt like I had to go back because I thought she came, like followed me, and I was like, no, I gotta bring you. You can't come here. You have to be here.
It was the same thing for me at the Shadow Man Museum. Like getting to play with that train set with that little girl was like it was honest. Like it changed a whole bunch of things, and that's why it's always better to. I'm gonna strike some people here with this, but don't go into investigations and start screaming at people. Don't go into investigations and be like, demon this, demon that, demon that. Get to know them. Get to know who you're talking to. Because you're going to get a whole lot more evidence.
Exactly.
You're going to get a whole lot more evidence than if you go in there screaming and acting like a child and claiming that they're a demon. Because I don't know about you. If somebody came into my house and was like, you're a demon, what the fuck? Oh my God. I'm not going to want to deal with that bullshit. I'm going to go off in the corner and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like I'm going to go do my own thing.
And laugh at you because you're not going to get nothing from me.
Like, I'm going to laugh like the entire time. But be careful. If I laugh at you, they might hear that on a recording and think it's demonic.
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
I sentiment it though, like a lot, where it's like I don't think it's right if you go into a location and you just immediately start calling things out and like putting words in people's mouths. Where I mean, it's not like I'm not like saying anybody's doing it for like like anybody in particular, but it's like I don't think I would feel good enough if I walked somewhere and I walked in there and I said, "Fuck you and your house, like you little demon slut."
Clip that. I need that. That's my ringtone.
I will say I have done that one time. I went back to the Monroe house. I went to the Monroe house with Brandon and Noah. And Brandon was like, I dare you, because I was there before anybody else. He was like, I dare you to walk into that house and just start cussing at it. And so I walked in and I was like, what up, motherfucker? I'm back. I did not like the feeling that I felt like I got rushed. I felt like it was pushing me out the fucking door. Like,
that's when you get people angry.
Yep. 100%. I learned my lesson. I have not done it since. I will never do it again. And before that, I was like, I
provoked like that. Like straight up, I got pickpocketed
by a ghost.
Yeah, I walked in there and I was like, "You're a fucking pussy. You ain't gonna say shit, dog." I was like, "You're a fucking pussy," all night. Never do that. I don't.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave you something. Doesn't leave them
Doesn't
nothing.
leave a fucking thing after they make my REM pod go off in the middle of like a fucking concrete pad, so there's nothing around it. And I was like, "Yeah, cool, bye. Let's leave." My wallet literally is just gone. It's just gone. I don't know if it's paranormal, but it was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Woodinky dink.
I don't think it was a coincidence. I think it really do happen like that sometimes. I mean, I know you guys have witnessed it too. Like poltergeist activity really happens. Like it's very possible for a shapeless form to somehow become corporeal and take things from you.
Good word.
Thanks, dog.
Words are hard, but sometimes we can say good ones.
Or like your phone getting thrown off and stuff.
Yeah, my phone getting thrown at ISS. We witnessed doors. Okay, so we were upstairs. This was at the Monroe house. We were upstairs in the kitchen area, and we moved into the room that's straight off the hallway towards the bathroom. And we were hearing noises back in the kitchen area, and so I walked back in there and I set my phone tripod up and everything, and it wasn't moving. Like I had checked it, made sure it was sturdy, everything like that. And I started asking questions, and I go, "Who's over here with me?" You can see it in the footage. The phone just starts getting pushed, and it was
a slow. It wasn't like he put it up and it fell. It was like it sat
That's
there.
Like what we had happened too, like literally where it wasn't like a very quick event. It was like I'm trying. There it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Like-
wasn't like it like got top heavy. It was like it pulled it from the base of the
That's so
tripod that
weird.
it was on.
That's
Mhm.
wild.
That's so weird.
One of the first poltergeist activity I had as a little kid. It's one of the craziest stories ever. So do you remember when the Live Strong bands were like super popular?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we lived in this insanely haunted house where me and my sister did a Ouija board, and we basically came into contact with this child molester spirit and
A real monster.
a real actual human monster. And he was so active in the home and so like aggressive towards us. This is one of the only times I've actually experienced anything aggressive. He actually choked me when I was a kid too, but going on to this poltergeist activity.
It gets way more
So I
Anyway,
had
that's just that
Dude, the
doesn't matter. He
backstory.
choked
We
me,
can
but
dive
it's
into
fine.
that
Oh.
after this if you want, because
Yeah.
it's fucking
Oh, absolutely.
interesting.
So this is the wristband, right? So like it was sitting on. I'm gonna actually hopefully be able to see it.
Right. Yeah.
So like
Here,
we
I got
had,
it. I got you.
You got me. So we had my entire family. It was Thanksgiving. I kid you not. That's why this is such a good story, because Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Everyone in my family didn't believe in ghosts, and me and my sister were bound to prove to them that ghosts were real. So we had this bracelet sitting up, and I was holding it just like this, like I had my finger on one end of it, and the bracelet went all by itself. Swear to God, like 3 inches from my finger.
Damn.
That was like one of the most like insane
Whoop.
things that's ever happened.
I
So it's
Yeah, it
like
was
dinner and a
fucking
show.
wild.
And it's a 100% real story. It actually happened. And
Yeah, like the fuck? How does that happen?
What do you do? Like, how does your brain process that information? Like, oh, that
think you
actually
bury
just like
I think you legit bury it, and then you start getting those like regressions as you get older, where it just starts slipping through the cracks.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Like it's so engraved in my brain. I can never forget that, because that's the one thing that in my life that really like, because at that time in my life, I was watching all of the paranormal shows. I was so into paranormal, and me and my sister were like, we want to prove to all of our family like the paranormal thing is real. Like we actually live in a fucking haunted house right now.
R.I.P.
And
This
then having something like
This
that
fucking
happen, like
story,
it
man.
planted the seed heavy in me for sure.
So like we gotta really dissect this though. I know like we've told the story, like I know I've told my story, I know you've told your story, but like we haven't told it in a long time, and I'm sure you guys are super excited to hear this. So like when I met Riley, like there had been a lot of turmoil throughout his like more of his childhood, and it all stemmed basically from that Ouija board, right? And well,
Yeah.
one very long time ago when we started doing this, we were gonna do an interview with his dad, which it did air, but like some of the best stuff that we were told didn't air because there was a little bit of like Christmas cheer involved and some spirits and sprites.
Okay.
So he was telling us about how when he was a kid, he was messing with a Ouija board, and basically like the Ouija board itself would fly off the table, and like the fucking ceiling fans would go crazy, and he would be doing it with his brother and stuff. And like he had all these wild experiences. And then Riley, little old Riley, and his sister, Mel, gotta love Mel. They decided to fuck with the Ouija board. Now, I 100% believe that whatever happened with your dad and your uncle most likely stemmed from that coming through them to
It
you.
very well could have.
I was
Very
just about to ask that. I was like, when like members of the family experience things with boards or with paranormal, do you think it latches on to that family and is like, you know what?
I think
I'm
so.
gonna fuck with the rest of you guys because
Because your
y'all
dad's
piss me
always
off
been a
so
believer.
much.
Yeah,
Like
my
his
dad
dad
for
has
sure
always been a
believed in
believer.
prayer.
So it wasn't, out of the question for like how we are, where it's like we're very curious. Like
Yeah.
he's the same, he's literally his dad. They're like the same almost.
Carbon copies. But
Yeah,
a little
pretty
different.
fucking much. But like it's so weird to to see the correlations where it's like, all right, like all of those experiences at your house, and even like down the line where it's just like misfortunes throughout the family, like it's just like it's more than what normal people have happened to them. Like not only that, like I would spend the night at his house that wasn't the original haunted house, that it's the house
But
that
it's the house we moved into after that is also haunted.
exactly. So like I would sleep in the basement and constantly have that feeling of somebody's here, somebody's
Or
watching me.
you hear someone that walk across the floor upstairs when you
Mhm.
know, like my parents are the most sound sleepers on the planet.
Yep.
Like once they're out, and they don't get up and move around the house. And you would hear someone creeping around the house, like it's fucking
But like
crazy.
Hell.
that was like the first, other than the experience that I had previous to that, where it started me out, where it's like that was the only other house that I've ever had some type of weird shit happen like that. And I was starting to think about it, you know, like recently, where it's like
The one thing that happened that night when we
That's
were
not a
talking to my
coincidence.
dad that was crazy as fuck. We did this experiment to see if the spirits could actually draw energy from something,
that's right.
and we had to shoot like a
It was a power pack
Power
for a
drill.
DeWalt drill pack, and it was fully charged.
fully charged off the charger, and we told the spirits because we had all of these like my dad has a
He had
bunch of
old
pirate coins,
coins,
like a
yeah.
bunch of pirate coins and shit, and we had all this stuff out trying to use them as trigger objects, and
We're doing like remote reading and stuff too, like, and it
Yeah.
was working.
yeah, we were trying all these crazy experiments, and they legit drained the battery from the drill completely
In like
and
10
then
fucking minutes.
10 seconds after that, the fucking we have these sliding doors. I call them
Wham!
sliding French doors. They slide into the wall and like
Uh-huh.
disappear.
Mhm.
They freaking slammed shut, and like we caught a voice on them
On a table that we were not by.
yeah, saying never, and like everything just went crazy after
Oh,
that back.
God.
And it's like I don't think it's the house, you know, like there's nothing on that land that, I mean, there probably is Native American remains and stuff, but it doesn't feel Native American. You know, it feels more like what is
Just
this?
angry.
I don't even know if it's angry, because it's not like a malevolent type, you know,
No,
it's
it
more just
doesn't do
there.
much. Like
It's almost just occupying the space too. Like it's
Yeah.
weird.
it's super strange.
It's like one of those things where like since you guys moved in, it might have been there before you, and you guys came into its space, and it
Well, and
didn't
if
like
they were
that,
already
you know?
susceptible to paranormal too, where it's like what
Exactly.
happenings happened, yeah, like
It's
I could see
the
that.
spirit probably realized, hey, I could do something, and I can communicate with these guys, because what we found is, or like at least my opinion is, like if spirits don't know that they can, like say it's like the first time a place has ever been investigated, it's
Mhm.
gonna take them a little bit to open up. It's gonna take
Yeah,
a
it
little
is.
bit for things to start
does.
happening, and like, and a good example of that is like when we did our investigation at Necrosis haunted house. The building used to be part of Chanute Air Force Base up in Rantoul, Illinois.
Oh, that's cool.
But like our first night there, we got a few things. Estes method was popping off, but that was the very last thing that we did. But
And I
as
felt
the
more
hunt
one-on-one.
as the hunt progressed for the rest of the season, more and more actors kept coming to us and saying, "Hey, this is happening in my area. Hey, like I just saw a 7-foot shadow run through this strobe light. What the fuck did you guys do in here?"
No, my
We-
favorite is actually our makeup artist Sam. She's been there since like season 1 of like
Like 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Whoa. Hard fall.
Sorry.
But
You're fine.
The Adventures
she's
of
been
David.
there for like 8 years, and she knows like our original trio was me, him, and Tristan. Like we started the hunt. Well, Tristan and I started the hunt together, but he had been there for a few years. But all three of us would go up there since last year. Well, one night,
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Sorry, 2 years ago. But anyway, him and I were the only two that went up there that night. And she comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, who's all in your gang today?" Because we had brought Dave this year. And I go, "Dave's coming, but he's not here yet." And it's just Brendan and I. What's up? She goes, "So Tristan's not here?" And I said, "No, he's not coming. It's Friday. He doesn't come until Saturday this year." And she goes, "You're kidding." And I said, "No, he's not here." She goes, "You're kidding, because I have him on my roster because I just saw him in the haunt. Like, full figure saw him, had a conversation with him."
Mimic.
Like, she
That's
said,
pretty
like,
wild.
She
Like,
came to me and she was like, "What the fuck did you do inside this building?" And I said, "Nothing." She was like, "You didn't play the board." I said, "No. Like, you told me not to." I was like, "You told me not to," and we respected that. Like,
What do you think that is though? Like seeing a doppelganger like that. What is that?
I couldn't tell you. Like, there are so many ideas and theories about it.
There's omens to it for sure.
Uh-huh.
But like at Ashmore, like one of the first nights we were there,
Oh, I forgot about that.
heard Lizzie laughing on the second floor, and Lizzie wasn't laughing. There was no. She was like
You weren't
up,
you guys up on the third floor
up.
too?
No, we were in the second floor in the girls' room at Ashmore. Me, Gentry, and I think Tristan were the
Mhm.
three up there in the girls' room.
And then Shelby's boyfriend.
Yeah, Shelby's boyfriend. All four of us were up there. They come over the walkie-talkie and they're like, "Hey, Lizzie, are you laughing?" I said, "No, we've just been asking questions." And they go, "Well, we're hearing you laugh. Like we're hearing you
It
laugh."
was-
And I
He was
laugh
like,
is
on the landing right behind us, just laughing.
yeah, and my laugh is like loud and very like distinct. I have a very weird laugh, and
Yeah.
they know it.
She snorts. We heard snorts.
Yeah.
I do.
What?
And they're like, "Okay, we're hearing you." And I'm like, "Okay." So I stayed quiet the entire time after that. Like I would not ask a question. I didn't say anything. Everybody else was. I refused to talk. Like I was typing questions up on my phone to share to Tristan to ask because I had like a decent amount of questions I wanted to ask but couldn't because I wanted to like limit it being me. And they go, "Lizzie, we can still hear you. We're hearing you again. Like, are you talking?" Like this comes
Like
over
it
again.
was clear as day.
And I'm like,
Lizzie talking on the landing or at the end of the cafeteria where we were.
and I stayed quiet. Tristan was like, "No, she's been quiet the entire time. She's not even like talking on the radio. She's just sitting here and silent. She's has like a list of like 12 questions for me to ask here right now. She hasn't said anything, and
And this
they'll have no idea."
six
That's
people
crazy.
trying to figure out what it is that's going on. Because I mean, to this day, there's not really an explanation for it. Like,
No, there's not.
what?
Like that's so weird.
And now, like every time we go back to Ashmore, like something's just like, "Hey, welcome back." Like,
Mhm.
"Hey, here."
Mhm. And dude, isn't that the weirdest feeling though, where it's like the spirit remembers you?
Dude,
The-
I think they know when you're coming before you even
Mhm.
So my wife,
start on your way. They know. They prepare for you. Like they're so ready.
my wife's birthday
Mine
was
too.
of October, and we went. I took her back to Indiana State Sanatorium just so we could do like a day, something to do, because something cool. And I hadn't been out of my car for 5 seconds, and I had a scratch come across my neck. I took a picture of it. Like, just got out of the car, and my neck started burning. And like the whole time we were there, something was following me because I would hear footsteps behind the group where I was at. Like, and it's just like, how do you remember, who I am, but I don't know who I'm talking to or who you are following me
You
around.
know what's wild though about that too is Riley's theory. I think makes a lot of sense here, where it's like you get that scratch on your neck, right? Well, maybe it's not a scratch per se, but like you know how like if a spirit's like buddy puts his arm around you, and if that's where it makes contact, what does a scratch look like when it's an electrical burn? Same exact fucking thing.
Yeah.
So it's like if energy is being
Yeah.
transferred like that, where it's like if you were being followed around, where it's like, dog, we're pals. I remember you. Like that makes sense to me because it's like what time period is that from? Like, oh yeah, like the 40s. Yeah, I think the 40s. That sounds right. 1940s.
The report farm.
Yeah, I think so. Like I
Yeah,
don't know
that'd be-
exactly when it was
that'd be about
established,
right.
but it sounds right. It's like, yeah, I could see that like making sense where it's like somebody's like buddying up.
Mhm.
Yeah. The witch one though, we can't say that was buddy at all.
Oh,
My scratches.
yeah. Getting scratched at the witch's grave.
Yeah.
So like we had investigated. I think we had just finished our first night because whenever we go to like cemeteries or something, like we like to do 2 nights
Yeah.
just
Get
to
the
like
full
get
experience. 'Cause you
yeah
might get a lot and you might get a little, and then you're like, here's my meat.
yeah.
And
And we had just gotten in the car and she's like, "What did you say?" Like it was
no,
like
it
was like my
started happening
shoulder
at
my shoulder is burning or something.
it started happening at the graveyard. So my dog Griffin is deaf. So he can't hear anything. So he doesn't react to much unless you touch him. He was like sitting there or like dead asleep, like it was alert. Griffin got touched, freaking out. Like I had to I was under S's holding him by his leash, freaking out, and I opened my eyes. I'm like, "What's going on?" And they go, "Griffin got touched." So I'm like, "Okay, well here, Brady, you take him off their S's." I'm sitting
Whoa.
like against a tree, so like nothing can touch me behind me, right? it starts hurting, and I'm like, I feel like something's like grabbing my back. And then we're finishing up everything, and I get in the car, and I'm like, my back is like seriously burning. Like I think I like got into something, like it felt like itchy, like almost like I got into poison ivy, which
Yeah.
I've got into before, but it's never like been this bad. So we get home, and I'm like, it's like my back to like shoulder, like all the way back here, like on this one side. And I'm
Yeah.
like, we get home. The only thing I do is I go to the bathroom. I'm in there for like 2 minutes. I come out and I said, Dave, you gotta look at this, because he's on TikTok live. And
Huh.
Dave is freaking out. Like he's like, Brady, you gotta see this. And I'm like, if it will
Oh
focus.
yeah, you
Holy
can see it.
Shit.
Wow.
And it was like deep gashes, like bleeding, like not even like it looked like I got cut by like something like repeatedly in different ways. And like how it was, I also like fake nails, so I couldn't scratch myself at all.
This
How it was, like
this-
I couldn't have even reached it.
this was her back the same night.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Hold on.
You gotta put your phone in the lock mode.
As it'll just flip, flop, flop, flop.
If it'll,
Can you cover
Damn,
the
it's
light
so you can see in the top right how red it is.
yeah.
Yeah, if it will focus for a minute.
There we
Yeah,
go. Yeah.
that was my back the same
Dude, it
night.
almost
And like
looks like
I
it says
wasn't like
it looks like it says letters.
It looks like
Yeah.
4.
HM.
Dude, that's
H-
weird.
and like we couldn't depict it like where it was. I can't reach my back there. Like I'd have him scratch
Yeah.
that spot for me. Like, and it was in the
You have to like
weirdest
rub up
spot.
against something weird.
Yeah, it wasn't even like against the tree. Like I was just close enough to where like I knew like personally like nothing can get to me behind me because I have this
Yeah,
tree.
you're back to a wall
The
for
tree's
sure.
not gonna do that to you. Like
No.
Yeah.
there's no tree
And,
bark
like,
that's that sharp. Like
We had
you would
no
have
way
had
to
to like
figure out
clothes
what.
on?
like fall bear hug the tree falling backwards.
Without a shirt on.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like I had a tank top and I had like a long sleeve like over top. Like I had like protection. Like I was bundled. This is a
2 layers doesn't make any sense on why that would be like that.
Yeah.
and we still don't know what happened. We still can't figure it out. We've
That's
gone back.
interesting.
Gone back and
think
like
he got
nothing has
scratched
happened.
once. We went
I
to
don't
Mouse
know.
Cemetery, and after the investigation, he
I had a
two
big
scratch
old
marks
fucking
on his
gouge
neck.
on my neck, and I
But
was
he
like,
wasn't
I don't
sure
know,
if he
dog.
like got hit by a bug and scratched himself.
Or like
Yeah.
walked into a bush or something. I was like, I really.
But that definitely wasn't from you scratching yourself.
No.
Nobody's
I
gonna
had like
inflict that much pain on them.
Yeah.
Literally.
and I had like I had fake nails on. Like you can't like I couldn't even like cause a red mark really on myself like with the nails I had on because I
Yeah.
had filed them so dull because it was like was helping with like his kid, which is my god kid. Like I'd be helping, so I didn't want to scratch him, so I dull those nails out.
Yep.
So I'm like I'm not leaving marks.
I know that
And
feeling.
it's just like how did this happen? Like I went from the car to where I was like investigation being watched, car being watched, to bathroom for like maybe 2 minutes max. Like I go in and I come right back out. I'm telling Dave, come with this.
There's no chance that she could have done that much damage to herself in that configuration
Yeah.
Dude,
in that short amount of time.
There.
agreed.
No way. Not without any of you noticing that she was doing it.
Or
Exactly,
hear sort of commotion in the bathroom because that looked like it would have hurt. She would have made some sort of noise, like
Yeah, you would have had to legit like bang into something bad.
yeah.
And like where it was at, like on my like area, it was like right on my collarbone. It was like deep enough that like once I could actually like see it and feel it, like it was like burning. Like I was disinfecting it. Like it was like bleeding all of a sudden.
That's
like
so
it wasn't
wild.
bleeding in the
Well, you know
car.
what's even more
then
crazy
just
too
gushing bleeding.
is if it's a very like soft tissue, like not deep, it'll bleed.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot. Like that's where you'll bleed more usually. Where it might not be as long, but it'll bleed. That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had the scars for like I had the scratches just like not even healing for like almost 2 weeks, which was weird for me because like my scars heal pretty fast. Like I can have like cat scratches that will heal in like 2 days, like almost. Like
Yeah.
it'll be gone. And these lasted like 2 weeks, and like I still had like the scars, and, like I couldn't get rid of them. Like we were taking pictures of them like throughout this. Like I had like visible pictures of them for like a month.
Be gone.
Be gone, demon. No, that is wild though. Like,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying too, where it's like, so like that type of scratch should heal up pretty fucking quick. Granted, it is a different type of skin, like that doesn't get touched as much, but still, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense where it's like
Pretty sure my cat scratched me deeper than what that was. And
Yeah.
that didn't-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird how all that works. I don't
Dude,
understand it.
the world works in such mysterious ways that I just roll with it. At
Yeah.
this point, like, if I get an answer, I'll be fucking ecstatic.
I'll be kind of pissed if we find the answer to what paranormal
And it's fucking
really is.
24.
It ruins all the fun.
It's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the
24.
Galaxy. It's gonna be 24.
It's like,
Yep.
man, that's
24
what it was all
brother.
about. What if it's not as grand as we think?
Yeah, like this grandiose where we have this like extremely wide view of like what we perceive as like the afterlife and how awesome it's gonna be. And it's like, dog, it fucking sucks. Like, buckle up, buddies.
It's just
Buckle up, brother.
Like like he said one time where it's like, you know, you just become what you were like when you started, you know, you just go back to what you like. Well, if we're going back to like atoms and molecules, like that sounds like I'm about to be a fucking granular piece of dust and not have any sentience anymore. That doesn't sound fun.
I thought you were meaning like I was gonna go back
Sounds
to
like a blast. What are you talking about?
I mean, there is a theory that is very sketchy that will make people cringe, but like, what if when we fucking do like perspire, like when our souls transfer, like, what if that's not so transcending and it hurts? Or it's like, you know, it's like you're stuck in an infinite fucking loop where it's like, God damn it, dude. Like, I'm seeing fucking space whipping by me and I can't fucking do anything. Like,
constantly.
that sounds like
Watching
the
it
most
go by.
That's
yeah,
like-
like a fucking Ferris wheel. Like, what the fuck is happening? I'm on this shit. I need off.
Like that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward falls into the time loop thing.
Future.
1,000,000%, dude. I don't know. I don't think that's what's gonna happen. It doesn't make a lot of sense why we're talking to spirits that are chipper and cheerful. If that's what
Right.
happens.
Right?
So like we're gonna go ahead and just like that one's on the shelf, but like it's there.
It's there if you want
Oh,
to.
Yeah,
jeez.
we can like sprinkle some like shit dust on that when that fucking comes back.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
But I think that's probably a good spot to wrap up this interview for the night.
Yeah, because Lions are gonna
Yeah.
beat the shit out of the
It is
Packers
Thanksgiving
tomorrow.
I hope
We're
all
gonna
of
get some
y'all.
turkey.
have
Wait,
a
hold on, hold on,
great
hold on, hold on,
meal.
hold on. Trevor, what did you just say?
Lions are gonna
Trevor,
beat
what
the
did
shit
you
out
just
of the
say?
Packers.
What
Oh, I
did,
didn't
what
even
did
notice
you just
you.
say?
Oh my god!
What did you just say?
Maybe I just blocked it out. Maybe I
I
just
said
blocked
them
it out.
Lions are gonna fucking bite them fucking kneecaps, dog.
They all.
Go Pack.
The pack is whack.
I just got Jake Paul. I just got Jake Paul.
One pride, baby, one pride.
Jordan Love has done what this year?
How many times has he beat the Lions?
Nothing. Jordan Love is doo-doo garbage. That kid.
I'm glad we can admit it live on stream. The Lions are the fucking proof they're America's team and they're gonna win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So if you didn't know,
I'm actually down for it. I'm down to see Detroit
need
actually do something.
I need this.
No,
I
it,
need this.
It has been so long.
I've been a Lions fan my whole life. I watched them lose every single game one season. I grinded for this entire
Give me
moment.
my hat
Oh,
back. Give me my hat back, Jordan. You want to go see him go cracker or no?
I've yelled at too many TVs to not watch them win. Damn it!
I've broken
Right?
too many damn remotes. Not to get it.
Especially on Thanksgiving. Do you guys remember that game between the Packers and Lions where Ndamukong Suh stomped on that Packers
yeah.
player?
Oh yeah, stomp
Oh,
in.
yeah.
You got her.
I've never
He
wanted to
fucking
run through a
asserted
TV
dominance.
so bad.
Gosh,
That's how you assert your dominance, sir.
tomorrow
Like
history will
a
be
dip.
made.
Or the fucking
Jeez.
Hail Mary that fucking happened. Ugh,
Yes. Oh
that
my
one still
god.
hurts my heart.
And before we go too much of a tangent, before we end this here,
We'll Midwestern goodbye it.
yeah,
if we
we're
don't.
Yeah. It'll be another
If you
2.5
haven't
hours.
yet, make sure
Oh.
you subscribe to FDS. Links
go
down
check out
below.
all of their
Go
shit.
follow them.
For sure.
Like
It's all
everything.
bangers all the time. Fucking wear that title belt strong.
Boom.
Because that's what we're gonna do tomorrow, baby.
Discount double check.
And with that being said, folks, remember, keep your ears and eyes open for really goes.
In the night. I love you guys.
Peace, go Lions.